so-and-so. It was Dua Lipa.
Yeah, we can live with that. Yeah,
I can enjoy the games today.
I did hear Dua Lipa's doing the national anthem for the debate tonight.
That would be the highlight of the debate. I can promise you.
That would be.
I'm going to be live tweeting the entire debate. And I'm going to make sure that I'm on so many different substances to try to get my body right. I really hope I'm with you guys tomorrow.
I do
really
too.
don't know what's going on, man.
I hope you are too. I'm pushing for you to be here.
Wow.
Yeah. Hoping you're with us. LT from his home studio. That's Ryan Brown, all the great guys in the back room, Lunceford, Forrester, Tyler, and Rockstar. Taylor Korn on social media. Emily Grace McWhorter on campus today. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 Central.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Happy football season. At The Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Emily Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, live show now on a Wednesday. LT back. Glad to have him back with us today. We promised ourselves 23 years ago we would never forget, so I do want to start off by reminding everybody to take a moment today to remember what happened in 2001 on this day. Unforgettable, tragedy, pain, but the resilience that came afterwards and the unity we had in our country for our fearless nation. So we take a moment to start the show today before we get into our usual sports conversation, just to remember back to 9/11 in 2001, 23 years ago now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember just so many things about that 24, 48-hour span. You're right. I mean, everybody was so kind, and it was a different feeling. It's almost like if you have a friend pass away and when everybody gets together, you know, people are, hey, can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? Everybody's checking on everybody. And then obviously it drifts away and we go back to the normalcy of
a split country.
Yeah, of division.
Yeah.
But, you know, I remember the night before, it's when Denver opened their new stadium. They played the New York Giants. Ed McCaffrey. A lot of people don't realize Christian had a really, really good 6'5" dad that was an incredible receiver. He broke his femur, I think, in that game.
Ouch.
I was doing a show from the old PTs, which is Mexico Lindo, a Monday night show. And then I remember the next morning waking up, and back then I think a lot of people had the Today Show on in the mornings. And I just remember seeing that. I did not shower all day. I just sat there in disbelief. And boy, it's changed everything in our world. It really has.
It really has. And I don't know about you guys, but, you know, you think back to that day and the thought that an attack like that wouldn't happen again. I mean, that was foreign. You just assumed, well, this is the world we'll live in for the rest of our life, is we're going to have attacks on our soil like this. And it makes me appreciate even more the men and women who scattered across the world in the United States military uniform that told the rest of the world, F around and find out if you think you're going to do that and not pay the price.
And then our intelligence services and stuff like
That's
that,
right.
The CIA, the FBI, who always continuously do work behind the scenes.
Yeah, so, you know, it's wild to think that was really an attack of that nature was an isolated event. You could not have convinced me of that on September 11th of 2001 or the week or a month or months following.
Am I the only one that had a kid right then? I think Harper was she was in between 1 and 2, 1.5, and so no AK, no Leighton yet.
But you know what's crazy?
We were a young married couple, 3 years in, and with a baby, and I was like, I privately, I wouldn't say this to my wife or to anybody else, but I would sit privately at those 48 hours just wondering, oh my God, what if I'm in this and I've got a baby I got to take care of in this world now. What's
I remember being infuriated. And, as the day went on and the more footage you saw, and I remember, the old school had the armoire with the big block Sony TV in it, laying in bed, just watching that and really tearing up and just being so pissed off and not understanding how things like this could happen.
Yeah. And I go back to now the late Toby Keith. Does it not, I wish we had more put that boot in your ass attitude now in our country, because that song he came up with after that, man, that's the way I felt that day. I was on my way. I was getting out of the shower on my way to go to Auburn. Auburn did their news conferences back then on Tuesday. And I remember jumping on with Rick and Bubba. They called me. They wanted to know what I thought. And I was on with Rick and Bubba for about 30 minutes watching in disbelief. And then the second plane went in while I was on with Rick and Bubba. And I remember saying on the air live, I mean, we're under attack.
Yeah.
Because we were still trying to figure out what had happened with the first plane. Was it a mishap? How big was the plane? And then the second one went in, and then all hell broke loose. It's hard to believe it's been 23 years ago, but then again, it seems like it was forever ago.
And let's not forget, sports is what really brought us back to, not only unify, but kind of make the statement that we were back as a whole as a country, although we probably have never been back as a whole.
What was the first event back? Do you remember?
I remember it was a Yankees game, I thought.
Was it a Yankees game? Was that the first thing we did again?
I thought it was.
In my head, it was a Mets game.
No, maybe
it might have been a Mets.
Could have been. I don't remember. I remember, obviously, the SEC skipped the beat, and then they were back the next week.
Yeah.
or I guess all of college football really was.
I went back to, that was the only time I've been to Columbia. I went to Alabama, South Carolina game. It was the first weekend games were back. And then I remember my first trip to New York was that October, so a month following. And there was still a weird smell downtown.
Yeah, yeah. And boy, you can, if you were alive when it happened, or you remember when it happened, you can still go to that memorial today. Oof. And it's still, I mean, it's like you're right back there again.
It will stop you in your tracks.
Right back there again. So just take a moment today. Here, and I know it's a small part. I tear up when I think about it because I watched it this morning privately in here because I knew I cry every time. But I've sent out a link on my Instagram story and on Twitter of Tom Rinaldi's red bandana story. I think it's 13 minutes long. And it's worth watching. And it starts off, what would you do if you had 1 hour left to live? And it tells the story of the Boston College lacrosse player. And just an amazing story. And they were, that story was probably happened 1,000 times, 1,000 different ways with firefighters and other individuals. Just a day to remember here, never forget. And, sometimes over the last 23 years we have, I think, we've let it pass over us.
It is interesting the things you remember. I remember the first anniversary of it. I was doing the Griff show with Scott Griffin way back in the day. I see the Griffers doing a show with Kevin Skarbinski. I think on CBS.
Oh, really? On 42?
Right. Yeah, they're doing something. I saw a promo for it.
Okay.
But I remember Rockstar was at, Don Henley, a New York Minute.
Yeah, New York Minute.
Yeah, and he did and so they interjected some of the first responder calls in a New York Minute.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And
That's
so
tough.
he would play that, and I just remember, so we played it that first year. And then I've heard it played since, and I get chills every time I hear it.
Yeah, I've heard that one. The Rising Rockstar, is that right, from Springsteen?
Springsteen's about that whole album. Pretty much that whole album's about September 11th.
Yeah, and really good. And there was a musical special. I don't know how long afterwards, but we still were not back to doing things yet. They were still cleaning up and all that, and there was a musical special for 3 hours in prime time.
I remember that.
Carried by every network.
Yeah,
like it was simulcast over every network. And just moving.
Well,
moving.
I will tell you, I'm sure our grandparents' generation thought we would never have a December 7th where we didn't stop and remember a day that lived in infamy, right?
Right.
When the United States and the Allied forces really saved the world, basically started saving the world. So there will be a day where people don't talk about this as much.
Right.
But I will tell you, you'll be happy to know that my youngest is a fifth grader, and in the neighborhood where their school is, where she goes to elementary school, there's a fire station, and the entire fifth grade is taking cards and snacks to the firefighters there as a way of thanking them for all first responders. And they're doing it because they're studying September 11th. So at least in our schools, they're still telling kids what happened that day. So hopefully, there'll be a day where it doesn't mean as much, but hopefully for at least another generation, they'll still remember this.
But they told me, I studied Pearl Harbor, in my schooling several times and was fascinated by that. And but it didn't have the same meaning because I didn't live through it.
Right.
It was moving, but I lived, I watched it happen. I can only imagine if you had loved ones or somehow tied directly to what happened.
Yeah, the most
in those three locations.
Impactful things that I think we've lived through, I would say 9/11, 1, and COVID 2, right?
Yeah. Probably so.
Just because COVID societally, what it did and what it shut us down.
Yeah.
And, there's still repercussions from that, obviously.
Yeah, with our economy, no doubt. Okay, mybookie.ag chat room over there. Someone says Mississippi State, South Carolina was the first sporting
I remembered
event.
Alabama playing Arkansas that next game.
Yeah, it was a home game. Alabama.
Okay, well, maybe I'm completely off.
Yeah, it was a home game. It was Alabama, Arkansas, Bryant Denny, I believe, and I went to that.
Yeah, September 22nd of 2001, Alabama, Arkansas. Alabama won the game 31-10.
Yeah.
The only reason I remember it is it was the 2:30 CBS game, and Todd Blackledge was still doing the CBS games. And I don't know that they ever show the national anthem on the CBS game because it normally happens well before they are actually live in the stadium.
Yeah, but they did that day.
They made a point of it. I just remember I don't know why I remember it, but Blackledge's reaction to the young lady, and I have no clue who it was, actually sang it. It wasn't the band. She sang the national anthem.
Yeah, and the crowd sang along.
Yeah, and I remember
I'm gonna cry right here.
Don't cry, Dunaway. I remember his emotional reaction to it. That's the only reason I remember that was the game. is because it was on CBS and it was Todd Blackledge, it was in Bryant-Denny. And we were like starving to watch something that felt like normalcy, right?
They say Mississippi State, South Carolina, which maybe was a Thursday night game.
Maybe.
Was the first game back, but there's a SEC Network special that will air tonight. It's what you guys are saying in the mybookie.ag chat room. So I'll check that out if we get a chance. So never forget, hug somebody today. Give them a USA or God bless you or something out there as we remember what happened 23 years ago. Show being brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. And thank you to the military, first responders, police officers, firefighters, CIA, FBI workers that allow us to sit here and talk sports every day and to make bets like we do at mybookie.ag.
Code next round when you sign on, your initial deposit is doubled, and you can play with that right away. Tomorrow night football, you got Arizona State at Texas State. How about the Sun Devils, a road favorite in that game? 1.5 Texas State coming off that big win over UTSA. That's a big rivalry there, though.
Oh, man, you can't.
Battle for I-35. Yeah. Sun Devils, though, a 1.5-point favorite. In the NFL tomorrow night, Miami will beat Buffalo. The Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite. My recommendation is to lay those 2.5. Big win for Miami coming up here. Total of 49 in that one on Amazon Prime. You can play those games at mybookie.ag. Scan the QR code on your screen or just go to mybookie.ag. Enter code next round, all one word, next round, when you sign up and make your initial deposit. And they're going to double that deposit. You can play with it right away, win once. It is yours forever. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
And before we jump into what I want to get to here in the first part of the show, I'll tell you, Aaron Murray is going to join us at 10:30 Central Time. You guys have been raving about Aaron's breakdown of Peyton Thorne and Auburn's offense this past week, so we're going to get Aaron on for those that haven't already seen it, so we can talk to him about that. And Bryan Vincent, former UAB coach, now the Louisiana Monroe coach, who beat UAB's breaks off this past weekend, will join us at 11:45 today. I do want to mention we're not doing Bud Light game night every Thursday this year. We're spreading them out a little bit so that if we're in your neighborhood, please come and hang out with us. And we're starting one tomorrow night, weather permitting. We're getting details on that. If you're paying attention, there's a Cat 1 hurricane that's making landfall today in Louisiana that's going to impact our weather here tomorrow with lots of rain. But right now we're scheduled to be at Hillside on Highway 31 in Vestavia tomorrow, 5 to 7 for the first of our Bud Light game night. Weather permitting, we may have to move and make some adjustments.
Yeah, the plan is we will be at Hillside from 5 to 7 tomorrow night. We'll be doing a live hour. We'll be hanging out. We'll have great Bud Light specials, formerly Pig and Palm. I went there, Rocky, before it was Pig and Palm. I forgot what it was called. It was some kind of market.
It was the backyard market.
It was a meat and three before that, right?
Yeah.
Backyard market, then Pig and Palm, Hillside now. Look it up, Google it. Come see us. 5 to 7, Bud Light game night. We'll be doing some special things about every 2 or 3 weeks with those guys.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 7, I want you to hear post-game from Josh Heupel this past weekend after they demolished NC State 51-10 and jumped all the way up to number 7 in the country, Kent State, this weekend. When you think of Josh Heupel, you think of what?
When I think of Josh Heupel now, I mean, I've kind of transitioned. You know, I thought about a guy that was a Heisman Trophy runner-up, just a gritty quarterback that won a national championship, Bob Stoops, Oklahoma's last national championship. But now I think of Heupel as a coach that is still growing and really one of the best play-calling head coaches in all of college football.
Yeah. Who, you know, you think so much of their wide-open passing offense. Who's been the best player on that offense so far?
This year?
This year.
On that offense.
On that offense.
Because don't jump.
I mean, has it been their running back? Well, I don't.
Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson's been really good. Nico made the 2 mistakes against.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say that offense doesn't go without Nico.
No, I would agree. Quarterback's always the most important, but Dylan Sampson has been a huge surprise.
Yeah, he's been great. But so, too, has what Josh Heupel talked about after demolishing NC State.
Since you've been here, the identity of this program has been high scoring, explosive offense. What was it like tonight to sit there and just watch your defense just dominate that?
Yeah, it's not the only time that they've played like that. But again, with the growth and development of our roster, we're able to play more people. That gives you depth. That helps. And the growth of our players and who we have within the scheme that Coach Banks and our defensive staff have continued to develop these guys. You know, they've been playing well and I love the future of what we have over there. Let me just say one more thing. The standard at Tennessee is to be elite on defense. This is the home of Reggie White, Al Wilson, Eric Berry.
Yeah, so he's naming some of the great Tennessee defenders.
A lot of them.
So the question I wanted to start off asking you guys, if you're looking at your SEC power ratings right now, through 2 weeks, how high do you have Tennessee?
I would have them third. I would have currently, if I did my power ratings, I would have Texas 1, Georgia 2, Tennessee 3.
I think I would have Georgia 1, Texas 2. I think Alabama or Ole Miss 3. Tennessee would be 5 for me.
My issue with Alabama and Ole Miss is if you just take all the opponents that those 3 teams have played, who's the best opponent you think? Alabama, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, and
it's NC
State. And I don't know that NC State's particularly good,
right?
But I think they're better than Western Kentucky or South Florida. I think they're better than, I forget who Ole Miss has played, but it's 2 nobodies Ole Miss has played, and Ole Miss plays Wake this week. But I think NC State's the best of that group.
I think South Florida could play with NC State.
Maybe so.
That's what I wanted to say. I'd love to see a South Florida NC State game.
How often have you said that?
Yeah, that'd be a pretty
Not
interesting
a lot.
contest.
Because
I've seen some rumblings about getting rid of Dave Doran after what happened this past weekend.
Well, I've seen Marcus Freeman. I think I brought this up to you guys when I was jumping on with you yesterday. How long is it before? It was after Forster has Purdue. I was like, if they were to lose to Purdue, people are going to say, is Marcus Freeman the guy? CBS Sports on their front page of college football today, and I've just got to give you guys the quote. I mean, and this is the world we live in. I mean, I still think Marcus Freeman's a really good coach. You talk to, we were at that On 3 event in Nashville this summer, and talking to those elite players' dads, they are blown away. They absolutely love Marcus Freeman. But here's the headline. Can Irish do better than Freeman? Question mark.
This is a guy that was locked in the playoffs literally a week ago.
Yeah. Can they? Can they? It's a great question.
I mean, they probably could, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, Brian Kelly left for a reason,
he
right?
He did, but I mean, it is hard to explain losing to the 3 teams he's lost to out of conference in that stadium. Well, out of conference. Everything's out of conference. But the 3 non-Power 5 teams he's lost to in that stadium, that is hard to explain away. I don't disagree. I mean, I know a lot of times people look at it beyond just the point spread, but the fact remains that all 3 of those were 16, 20, and 28 in a point. I mean, you were 2 or 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns favored over every single one of those teams that he's lost to.
Okay, so back to your question, Dunaway. I was going to say I don't think you can go any deeper than the 5, but I didn't mention Missouri.
Yeah.
And Missouri has not allowed a touchdown through 2 games. I know they haven't played anyone, but, Missouri is still a team that won 11 games last year. They're number 6 nationally. How would you stack this up?
I would go right now, Texas 1, Georgia 2. I would then go Alabama 3, Tennessee 4, Ole Miss 5, Missouri 6.
I gave Jim Lance, I gave him the stat yesterday, and he was stunned. It was 1985. That's the last time Tennessee's defense has gone 3 consecutive games without allowing a touchdown. Yeah. If you didn't watch it, the NC State touchdown was on a pick 6, so that doesn't technically go against their DB. Yeah. It does statistically, but you know what I'm saying. So an offense has not scored a touchdown on Tennessee since the Vanderbilt game of last year, and that is a huge change for Josh Heupel because the 1 year he had his offense clicking, they couldn't stop anybody. Could not stop anybody.
Well, guess what?
Except Kentucky.
Missouri hasn't allowed a touchdown until you go back to their final regular season game of last year because they held Ohio State without a touchdown in the bowl game. So they've gone 185 plus minutes without allowing a touchdown.
We got to wait a little bit longer before we get a little bit of what we know about Tennessee. Their schedule will come around and we'll get something from them a little bit. We thought NC State would be a tougher test. It may turn out to be just the tip of the iceberg of how good Tennessee is this year. They could be jumping into the playoff conversation. And we'll do that too right after we tell you about our friends at johnsonrvcenter.com. Brownie, tell us about Johnston RV.
Yeah, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman. 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. Fall will be in the air soon. Look at the weather coming behind this tropical system. It's going to cool off a little bit in the deep south, and it's going to feel a little bit more like fall, and you can go enjoy fall in a travel trailer starting as low as $145 a month, or how about a fifth wheel? Savings over $45,000, RV warranty forever. Make sure you've got that lifetime warranty on anything qualifying previous loan or brand new right there at Johnston RV Center, johnstonrvcenter.com.
And our friends at Way to Wellness, a planforme.com, no cookie cutter plan, everything designed specifically for you. LT and I will be part of the Meltdown later on today, 2 o'clock live, as they start a new trivia tournament. LT and I teamed up.
Did you study last night?
Can't study for this. I lived this. I'm ready for it. 2 o'clock live today if you want to see LT and I dominate trivia on the Meltdown. But the Meltdown guys are part of the Way to Wellness family as well. Leslie and that board-certified team taking care of Melton, taking care of Lunceford, taking care of me for years, keeping me upright with my blood pressure and cholesterol. They can do it for you. Everything's designed specifically for you, and there's no contracts, no sign-up fees, and you get a free consultation. What do you want to learn more about Way to Wellness? How do you do it? You go to aplanforme.com. That's the website. Aplanforme.com. Leslie will take care of you. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. So the cool part about the 12-team playoff is that we get teams on the bubble and that kind of thing. 12 teams in, team on the bubble. Andy Staples in on 3 with their projections right now, the way they see it playing out. And Andy doesn't go straight by the rankings. He has Ohio State 1, Georgia 2 because of the conference championships, Miami and Utah 3 and 4. Texas is 5. He's got Tennessee at 6. That's really highly ranked. Ole Miss 7, Alabama 8, a little SEC run of home games there in those on-campus games.
Wait, does he have 6 SEC teams?
Yes, if you count Missouri.
If you look at the AP poll right now.
Yeah, 6 of the top 7.
Yeah, SEC.
Is that possible? I mean,
no, it's going to sort itself out at some point. Texas,
but I don't know if you've got a bunch of 10 and 2s. Is it possible?
I think 5 is the limit. But
they haven't put a limit, though, right?
Not an agreed upon limit. You're saying a figurative limit.
Yeah, I just think you got to play each other. But right now, this is the projection. USC and Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Would we sign up for that?
My
right
gosh,
there?
Are you kidding me?
Penn State in Ole Miss, Missouri at Tennessee, and then UNLV is the one looking out. But here, the first 4 out, Brownie. Go ahead, and then I'll make my point.
Well,
about
just
the first
real
4
quick,
out.
I was just going to make a point for what it's worth. It feels like every time we've done this, the matchup I have seen the most, which means that we'll never get it, is Penn State Ole Miss. It feels like every time somebody does one of these,
seen that a lot.
Penn State and Ole Miss are playing either in Happy Valley or in Oxford.
They do just seem to fall in that 7, 10, 8, 9 line.
Well, and I heard this question asked today. We're talking about how you would rank your top 5 SEC teams. Who literally is the second best team of the Big Ten? We know it's not Michigan anymore.
I'm not sure it's Oregon.
That's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Oregon's not in the 12-team playoff here, according to Andy.
Well, I don't think it's Penn State. Penn State battled with Bowling Green. Is it USC?
First 4 out is Oregon, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Nebraska. Oregon is not impressing anybody with their run through the state of Idaho. They played them at home, but they struggled to put away the Vandals of Idaho, and then they were lucky to win the game against Boise State.
Yep.
And now here comes a battle with Oregon State this weekend. We'll talk more about that as we move towards the week. But that Oregon team has been underachieving. How close is Nebraska to being?
I was going to bring Nebraska up. I think you've got to put them in the conversation now. I cannot believe we are rolling into week 3 and we are talking about there is a potential, and I think it's still a long shot, but for us to even have this conversation, that USC or Nebraska could be the second best team in the Big Ten, because it seemed like lockdown. Oregon was going to be that team, or Ohio State, whoever won that game. And then on the other side, you would have said, hey, look, man, maybe Michigan, the quarterback play isn't as good as J.J. McCarthy, but maybe it's close, and Michigan still has that elite defense, and then Penn State. Those would have been the 4 teams. You wouldn't have talked about anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. That's the Big Ten seemed very simple to pencil in going into the season.
In week 2, and I never would have guessed this, in week 2, Saturday, November 16th, Nebraska's at USC in the Mausoleum. That right now is a game potentially for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to shape up that way, but I'm just saying in week 2 it looks like it.
We never did our 12-team playoffs. I know you did, and when we saw yours, we were like, damn, he's got USC. Now,
would that under Joe Burrow, would that be one of my best predictions of all time?
If it comes to fruition,
I don't know. We're still talking about a great brand, USC.
But nobody was putting USC in the playoffs, Brad.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've had.
Well, you just refuse to let me have any glory.
You've had good predictions.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Burrow, I think you're overplaying it. All you said, we said he was an average quarterback, and you were like, I think he's got a lot more potential.
I still say Bo Nix as a Heisman finalist was your best prediction of all time.
Yeah, but that was like sight unseen. He was coming out of Pinson or whatever.
I mean, still, you didn't buy into it.
Well, it was just percentages. Like, what are the percentages of this kid coming out of high school? Like the kid that plays, and he's going to be on TV this weekend. Is it the Underwood kid that I saw at the On3, the LSU quarterback, or the commit, LSU commit?
Yeah.
Like looking at that guy, okay, he stays healthy. I think he's a Heisman finalist.
Yeah. Anyway, USC trending towards a playoff, very good. One more thing to get to in this segment before we take our first break of the show after LT tells us about our friends at Inverness Country Club, a great place to get out and hit a little golf ball action. I was leaving the golf course yesterday, and it got delayed for a second. I sent it on my Instagram story and out on Twitter. I had to pause for a second because of a cattle crossing. Like they were taking cows from one side of the road to the other side of the road.
Not at Inverness.
No, it wasn't at Inverness.
Oh, I was about to say, what the hell? Because I tell you what I have seen in Inverness, I've seen the deer crossing.
Oh my gosh, deer everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I was leaving a different golf course, and I stopped for a second, much like I was telling the story to fill time while you pulled up the Inverness Country Club copy.
Right.
I had to stop as they moved cows across cows and bulls.
Did you do the cartoon?
I stopped and like, am I in West Texas? There's no sign for cattle crossing. You don't have to deal with that in Inverness Country Club.
No, you do not. And they've got memberships that fit everyone, the social membership, the golf membership. Maybe you travel for work or pleasure. Ask about the Heritage Plus option, where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Inverness Country Club, great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated to retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Childcare also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the court or course. Do you know that you don't have to be a member in order to hold an event at Inverness? Inverness can hold anywhere from golf tournaments to corporate meetings to wedding receptions, anything in between. Take a tour of this unbelievable club. Call Aaron today, 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, iccalabama.com.
Okay, Forrester says, look at the screen. This is it. As they were moving the cows from the right side to the left side, this one got away.
Oh, I was expecting more cows.
Well, they're already moved across the road.
Right.
This is a lone stranger. And the lady's, all she's got is a little thing like this.
A little whip.
Yeah, and she's just shaking it and calling it to come on. And everyone, you can't hear the audio here. And everyone's making a point. Chris says, Dunaway telling that cow to be safe guarantees it's going to be someone's dinner tonight.
It's like where they filmed Twister.
I mean, I was envisioning, and this is on me, I was envisioning like numerous cows and a guy on a horse going, ha! Ha!
Brown,
Alabama. I thought it was a cattle drive. I know. I was envisioning the wrong thing.
You thought I was on a dirt road?
Yeah, I thought it was a cattle. Ha! Yeah, that's what I was envisioning.
I didn't know what to do. You stop for cows, I guess.
I guess so. Well, yeah, I mean, that cow is, you may not beat him, but you can tie him with your car.
Yeah.
And that's going to be bad for your insurance.
Yeah, I did not. My insurance agent was with me. I did not want to.
Yeah.
It would have helped me with the claim, but I didn't want to risk it. Also, our friends at NASCAR, by the way, coming up very soon, October the 6th through the 8th, you get a chance to get back out there. October 4th through the 6th, get a chance to get back out to Talladega. Always a great time. Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming up. You can always get your tickets right there online. Remember the website, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Look at this. Let's rodeo at the Talladega Superspeedway. Buck-and-Dega on Friday night with music and fireworks. Then featuring Saturday night concert with always a great country star. Jake Owen is there this year. No association, no kin to Luke. Jake Owen is there on Saturday night. And then, of course, the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. It's a playoff race. You got a truck race playoff on Friday. It's Xfinity playoff race on Saturday. And then the NASCAR playoff race on Sunday. It's a big time at Talladega, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Last point I wanted to make here. Because of football, we stopped talking about baseball this time of year until the playoffs start.
And Buster tomorrow.
Buster only back on the show tomorrow. Can't wait. Braves and Mets deadlocked for that final wild card spot. If you're a Braves fan, you know it. You're watching it. If you're not a fan of the Braves and have given up on baseball, just watch this Braves-Mets race down the stretch because they are deadlocked as they both won last night. They are tied for the final wild card spot. They play each other, I think, in the next to last series of the year. Pretty exciting race down the stretch.
What, 17 games to go?
It's 16 or 17
I think
games
17
to go.
games to go. Was it you or Buster that said that, the Braves were going to be in the postseason, didn't have to worry about the Mets?
I think it was Jim.
I think it was me,
Buster
yeah.
stays away from it entirely now after his history.
Oh, I did way
on
back
this show.
after the Acuna injury when they were still, they were the number one wild card team, and obviously they fell off. They're getting help. Chris Sale, and I don't know how to say the kid, Skubal in the American League. Skubal?
Oh, from Detroit? Yeah.
Those two guys are competing to have the
Triple
rare team.
crowns.
Yeah, the triple crowns,
Yeah.
which is rare. And one of them, whoever ends up
Sale's going to get it. I mean,
in the National League and
yeah,
Skubal in the
National League.
American.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see, but in the National League, I think it's almost wrapped up.
Yeah. But see, there's more history to be made here. Both of them are in the running to have a rare occurrence where they lead all three categories in both leagues. And they would go down to the stretch. That's only been done 8 times in Major League Baseball history. The two most recent guys to do it, Dwight Gooden and Sandy Koufax.
That's not very recent.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
No,
they're
I
the
know,
two
I'm
most
just saying,
recent.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there were 6 guys before that named Lefty and Grover and those Dizzy, those kind of guys. But modern history, Sandy Koufax and Dwight Gooden, and one of these guys could be into that small group of 8. That's great pitching in a year in an era where pitching is not usually always celebrated.
So do you think Tariq Skubal, who signed a 1-year deal in the offseason with Detroit for $2.5 million to 2.6, what do you think this guy is going to get on the open market?
Everything he wants.
Yeah.
Everything he wants from New York.
That's
probably.
good timing on his part.
I mean,
right?
he's only made $5.5 million in his career. He's 27 years old. Chris Sale, Skubal, people thought that, hey, look, this guy's got this potential, but Sale, it was all behind him.
Yeah.
Or at least you thought that.
You thought that. Daniel says the Braves pitching staff has been phenomenal all year. They've had to be to get to where they exactly were. Lopez got hurt last night.
It's nonstop this year.
Shoulder tightness
It's
for
just,
him.
just little bitty, just irritations. Slushy 51, yes, we will get UAB content when we have their former coach on today.
Coming up at 11:45, a little bit later on today. We talked to Bryan Vincent about his time at UAB and what he's doing at Louisiana Monroe now. That's coming up later in the show. And we're off and rolling. Don't forget, Aaron Murray's our first guest at 10:30. We've got sneaky good games, 4 downs, and a lot more, including your comments in the mybookie.ag chat room as we roll on. We talk a little college football when we come back, though. Alabama's on their way to play Wisconsin. Big game this week. Tyler Booker's got thoughts. Luke Fickell's got thoughts. LT and Brownie's got thoughts. And we'll explain LT's hat when we come back as well. It's all right here on The Next Round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and
We specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings account, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Our friends at Milo's Hamburger invites you to join them in the fight against hunger in our local communities by bringing non-perishable food items to your local Milo's, including canned goods. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, Milo's will give you a free drink. Together, we can make a difference.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Raid, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Lance'sLock.com. Lance'sLock.com. Lance is going to send you a video clip, Forrester, that he will need here shortly.
No, we got that confused.
Oh, never mind. Yep. We got that confused. Live producing on the air. I love doing it. We're casual friends here, all hanging out today.
Just casual.
Charlie says, I don't believe Scooball is a free agent next year.
Okay.
Charlie, big Tigers fan.
Oh, yeah, then Charlie would know. I thought he just signed a one-year deal.
Yep.
Okay, but Charlie would know. I thought it was a one-year deal.
Lance'sLock.com. Brown and I were just talking about Dolphins have that quick turnaround Thursday night game. It's Bills Dolphins in Miami. I mean, it's a fantastic matchup for a Thursday night.
I just didn't think. Look, I thought the Dolphins really struggled. I think Jacksonville's going to be better than advertised. The Dolphins found a way to win that game.
Played much better in the second half, though. And it still ended up with 400 yards, and Tua is still the leading passer in the NFL after 1 week, as bad as they struggled.
Yeah, but if the criminal.
I mean, jump in and defend your team real quick.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
But if the criminal didn't have that big reception.
Not a criminal, just detained, never arrested.
Go back and look at his history. He's a piece of shit.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
Who, Tyreek Hill? No, he's got a terrible history.
I mean, those guys are way out of line.
Well, look, you can go back and forth on that. I'm not even talking about the video, just his previous history. I mean, he's a woman beater.
I was just talking about that one moment in time.
Outside of that, I mean, look, you've got tinted windows there up. What is an officer supposed to do? They went over the top. There's no doubt. Dude's going 100 miles an hour, though.
He was doing 60.
60 judged by the eye.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a radar. They wrote it on the ticket. Eye assessment of 60.
Anyway, that was
he was doing
definitely
40.
over the top, but he didn't comply.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know where we were going with it. What were we saying?
Well, you were taking a cheap shot at Tyreek Hill.
I was not taking a cheap
Yes,
shot.
you were.
Yeah. I was not. I mean, Tyreek Hill choked out his pregnant girlfriend.
Okay. Well, what about the game?
The guy would be incarcerated if he couldn't run a four flat 40.
And if he was around, you'd love him.
Yeah. I'm not saying I had a tough time pulling for Leonard Little back in the day.
Yeah,
I did.
I know.
What I was saying was Buffalo. I did not think Buffalo looked good at all. I think Arizona's going to be much improved, especially with a healthy Kyler Murray. But Buffalo, I mean, they were lucky to survive Arizona at home. So I just don't think Buffalo is going to be nearly as good as they were last year.
That's what I was telling Brown. I like the Dolphins because other than Allen, I don't think his receivers are as good. I don't think his running game's as good.
Let me ask you, what do you make of that division? I mean, do you think Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, I think you guys are the best team in the division after 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, you had the biggest upset of week one out of that division.
Yeah,
was
New England.
Was New England
But
beating
there's
Cincinnati.
no way they've got staying power.
I agree. Aaron Rodgers, you think is going to get better? Or is this what Aaron Rodgers is going to be all
I
year?
saw one great drive from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think Garrett Wilson is one of the best receivers in football. I think Breece Hall is one of the best running backs in football. I just don't know how much improved the offensive line is. And Dunaway made this point. Maybe he will get better because he's still got that rust. He looked like a 40-year-old quarterback out there playing. Josh Allen doesn't have the weapons this year.
It's an interesting division.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And I thought, as dominant as Jacksonville looked at times, they still only scored 17 points or 20 points against you guys.
Yeah, good defense. All that to get you to Hemphill and the lock, lanceslock.com.
Hemphill will be out Friday. The AC is not working in the basement.
This is back to your house, yes.
Unbelievable.
I know, it's crazy. I talked to Andrew yesterday, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you.
Okay, and before we got a little picture fun, and then I want you to tell your hat story. Right after I tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, over 35 urologists on hand, 16 great locations across Alabama. Listen, we all get older, right? When you move from your 20s to your 30s to your 40s to your 50s, guys, stay on top. Guys don't like to go to the doctor sometimes, but being proactive, staying on top of it is so important. You can do that with our friends at UrologyCentersAlabama.com. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Find the location near you, 16 of them across Alabama, and make your appointment. 205-930-0920. Kidney stones to prostate health and everything in between. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Before you tell us the real story behind the hat, everyone in the chat room, I thought of it independently. The guys in the back room were talking about it when I walked in, and then when I came back, the chat room were talking about it. So we had these vibes initially because it is a retro hat. It is Don James' hat, and everyone instantly started talking about Mario Kart. And one of the great characters on Mario Kart, the W.
I had not even thought
I
of
think
that.
I'm the only guy that's never played Mario.
Mario Kart's fun.
I mean, I played it with my kids, and even I walked back to the cool kids in the back room, and I said, "Hey, do you have a picture of that Mario Kart character?" I don't know the names. I said with the W on his hat, and Tyler and them laughed. We were just talking about that.
It's so that's Waluigi and Wario, right?
Wario, right?
Yeah.
And so if Wario's hat was purple, that's exactly what you have.
I had not even thought of that.
But it really takes you back to the Don James coaching staff.
Yeah, so Brock Heward, who I do Unlock with every Monday from 1 to 2, right here live on the next round, he was wearing a Seattle Supersonics throwback hoodie. A couple of weeks ago we were talking. I was like, dude, that's a good-looking hoodie. And he's like, we've got this place, Simply Seattle, where they've just got nostalgic Seattle gear. And he's like, I'll send you some stuff. And he sent me a box. I got it a couple of days ago. And I got some Supersonics gear. I got some old school Washington gear. But I love the old school Washington hat.
Too.
I'm just a big, purple used to be my favorite color. It's a little too flamboyant that I get this old to wear a ton of purple. I still do like the color purple. I think they've got a really good color scheme. And just really like the hat. Mitchell and Ness do a great job. I've been to their original store, their brick and mortar in Philadelphia.
Where is that? I didn't know they had one.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I got this Mitchell and Ness. I got a Supersonics hoodie, Mitchell and Ness, an old school 1991 national championship Washington tee.
Wow.
Yeah,
I do
some cool
like
stuff from Simply Seattle. So if you're a Supersonics fan, Mariners fan, Seahawks fan. I couldn't have worn Seahawks. He knew not to send me that. As good as those uniforms looked Sunday against Denver, wearing their old. And one of you two like the new uniforms better than the old, right?
No, I like the helmet. Old. I like the helmet better. I don't like the old silver helmet.
Yeah, I like the old silver helmet.
That was such a good look. Anyway, all that stuff, Simply Seattle.
Yeah, Patrick says Supersonics logo is on the Mount Rushmore of logos.
It's crazy. I think
it's a great logo. And Patrick, and was I telling you this or Brown this? I'm pretty sure it's almost in stone. The Supersonics are coming back to Seattle. I think they're going to go from 30 to 32 teams in the NBA.
It's funny though.
They have
I
an
think
ownership group.
I think when franchises go out of business, people start to love their logo, like the Hartford Whalers. When the Whalers are playing, I liked it, but it's so much better now because you never see it. And you see a lot of Hartford Whalers gear, people wearing throwback. The old Houston Oilers, the oil derrick, the Titans wear it occasionally.
Yep.
Yeah, we took a lot of that stuff for granted. But even when you lose a logo, like your Bucks, I think more people, if you're not a Bucks fan, like the creamsicle than they like the pewter.
I'd be okay going back and occasionally wearing creamsicle jerseys, but I don't want the really happy pirate back. I like the flag.
And Dunaway used to make fun of my Dolphins logo back when they wore the actual good logo, and now you're like, God, Brown, that's such a good uniform. They had to go back to it. It's just absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I don't remember making fun of it.
100%. It was a dolphin diving through a ring. It's a terrible logo.
Colorado Rockies original hockey team, or Colorado Avalanche original hockey logo, much better than the Avalanche A.
Oh, well, Denver's the Nuggets original logo was better over the skyline.
I agree. All right, to the Alabama-Wisconsin game, after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors that include Dr. B under that beautiful high-stacked hat.
I have got to get a haircut. That's one of the other things that, very busy Wednesday here.
I think at this point with that hat, you let it grow out in the back.
Dude, Maddie told me that my sideburns look like I'm the one that broke the Watergate story.
They are. That's such a good line. They are getting bushy, though.
I think it looks good, though, man. I grew up in that era. Keep it going.
I don't. I got to get rid of these. Absolutely awful. What am I talking about? Dr. B.
Dr. B, man. You broke the Watergate. That's such a good line.
I mean, they are. Can we get a shot here?
I don't know if it's going to get close enough, but I had noticed them. They're out touching the ear. I can't stand my sideburns touching the ear.
Terrible.
Yep.
Anyway, Dr. B, this is probably one of the effects of that non-invasive treatment I'm doing. This hair's blowing up everywhere. Dr. B, for more than 20 years, women and men have turned to him for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff today. Schedule the consultation, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. For more information, t3hair.net.
And our wonderful friends with Precision Sports getting you back in the game. We got LT back here today. Precision Sports can help you with a ton of things, including all the tweaks, pulls, pains, and breaks that you get in life playing weekend sports or out having a good time, or for your kids as well. We've sent our daughters there recently. They diagnose it, they treat it, they rehab it. It's Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, your provider to get you back in the game. 205-512-3885. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. Locations near you, just find them online. Jasper, Alabaster, Fultondale, and all around the Birmingham metro area. Orthopedic care better together. 205-512-3885. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 5, Wisconsin's off to sort of a slow start themselves. In Alabama, last I checked at mybookie.ag, a 16.5-point favorite on the road against unbeaten Wisconsin. 16.5 points. Now, Wisconsin's getting votes, but they're way down in the AP poll. Here's Luke Fickell.
No, people hadn't watched them if they're getting votes.
Two sluggish starts, but Luke Fickell sort of hints at why maybe you haven't seen the best of Wisconsin yet.
Us as coaches like to try to say, hey, it was a routine. We do everything the same way, no matter what it is, the faceless, nameless opponent. The realities of those things is probably not true. Some of us can hide our heads and live under a rock like I do, but our guys understand. Our guys are much more aware. And so this was something that had been talked about since spring football, and not by me. I'm not like standing up there and say, hey, this is Alabama week in spring ball, and we're going to do this. And we work on the rivalry weeks. We talk about the teams that we play historically. We don't talk about some of these games, but our guys are all aware of it. And so for them, it's been something that, just like me, it's been in the back of their heads, probably a little bit closer to the front of their heads too often. If you want to be the best and you want to compete with the best, then you got to play the best. And this just gives you that opportunity, regardless of what they're ranked, right? I couldn't even tell you that they were 4. But I know this, over the last 20 years, who's been the best team in college football, and there's no doubt it's been Alabama. So regardless of where they are at this moment, this is as good a football team that there is in the country, and has been for a really, really long time. And so no matter where you are as a program, it gives you an opportunity to assess a lot of different things.
Well, he saw him up close and personal in 2021 when he was Cincinnati's head coach and they played in the college football playoff. He looks like a sitcom dad for whatever reason.
A little bit, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
This Wisconsin team, they really struggled against Western Michigan. Fortunate to survive that Friday night game, and they struggled against South Dakota. They've averaged 27.5 points against 2 inferior schools. We thought year 2 in the Phil Longo offense would look much different for a couple of reasons, because it was year 2, and you had what was perceived as a better quarterback from Tanner Mordecai coming in and Tyler Van Dyke, and this offense after 2 weeks just hasn't looked good.
Do you ever believe, Brownie, that you can be vanilla through 2 games and you save something?
No, people think he's saving stuff. They just don't have a very good quarterback. It's their problem. I did laugh, though, and I don't think this is what he meant, but to say, look, they've been the best program over the last 20 years of college football. There's no doubt about that, regardless of where they are now. They're undefeated number 4 in the country is where they are right now, but it just made it sound like he's trying to tell people, oh, don't pay attention to this Alabama. That's one of the greatest programs of the last 20 years.
So nobody buys into we're Phil Longo's offense. How close was that Western Michigan game? Was that losable?
Oh, absolutely.
They controlled the South Dakota game.
They were down 14-13 late third.
Okay. Yeah.
And I brought this up, watching that game, because we had Western Michigan plus like the 26.5. They were punting to Western Michigan, and one of the Western Michigan players got kind of tied up. The punt goes off his back. They recover. They score a touchdown, go for 2, and then take a 7-point lead. It was the ultimate momentum killer. I think Western Michigan would have won the game. I really do.
Now, I'm sure in Madison, Wisconsin today, the people that are doing the shows up there are saying, guys, the South Florida game was 14-13 going to the fourth quarter. So, I mean, they're
21-16 with 6 minutes left.
They're saying the same thing about, Alabama,
sure.
South Florida, as
Yeah.
we're saying about Wisconsin, Western Michigan. Having watched them both, and I have watched them both, I did not watch a lot of the South Dakota game, but I did watch almost the entire Western Michigan game. Alabama has got a quarterback that does a lot of things for you and gets you out of a lot of bad situations, which you had to do Saturday. Wisconsin has a quarterback that puts you in bad situations, and that's going to be a big difference in this game.
Yeah, we'll see. Kane Womack wants more takeaways, and right now he's not happy with that. Cut number 1, Rockstar, the Alabama defensive coordinator, not always happy with what he's seen from his team, and one thing he wants them to improve at is what Brown's talking about, taking advantage if TVD serves one up to his defense.
Extremely disappointed in the lack of takeaways that we were not able to create. Their team did. They created 3 of them. We were -3 in the turnover margin, which is absolutely unacceptable by our defense. It has to be something that we focus on day in and day out. It's what we preach. It's who we are. It's what we believe in, and it did not show up in this game. And so something that we've got to continue to push and pressure to focus on getting that done on game day.
Yeah. So do you think Alabama's defense has been aggressive enough in that South Florida game? I thought maybe they were too aggressive on their pass rush. They kept letting the quarterback get out.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, you've got to stay in your lanes. A guy like that, you got to make sure you contain him. You're not going to have to worry about that with Tyler Van Dyke. I don't see a path to victory for Wisconsin. I don't know about you guys.
I really
it's
don't.
one of those 11 o'clock games, so I probably completely stay away from it.
Right. There was a probably in there.
They're so baffling, but I think Alabama just completely just wipes this team. Because, Chez Mellusi would be that guy that could maybe be the X factor and take a little pressure off of Tyler Van Dyke, but he's averaging less than 4 yards a carry. He's only had one 10-plus yard run this year.
And the thing about it is you would be alarmed normally that Alabama gave up 206 rush yards. That is alarming that defense to South Florida especially.
Yeah.
108 of those came from the quarterback, and I'm not discounting those yards. I'm saying in this particular game, as Lance pointed out, you don't get that out of Tyler Van Dyke. So their traditional run game didn't get 100 yards. So I think that's where the battle is with Wisconsin. Can Chez Mellusi, who's normally better than the numbers Lance just gave you, have success against Alabama's run defense, which take out those quarterback yards against the traditional run? They've been really good so far.
You look around college football, there are portal quarterbacks that had one good year and have never been able to replicate that. They're all over college football.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Van Dyke so far is one of those guys. He had one good year where TVD was
But, the thing with Tyler Van Dyke, he was a redshirt freshman when he came in from Miami, and he looked so good the second half of that first year. And his size, his pocket presence, I didn't think there was any way he couldn't continue to progress. And then he gets, in one of those situations, it's not an excuse, it's fact, was playing for, 3 different offense coordinators in 3 different years. I think he's lost a lot of confidence, and I don't think this is a great fit. I thought he would be an upgrade from Tanner Mordecai, but it hasn't looked like that.
Okay, well, one more big thing to get to before we get to the top of the hour. Aaron Murray with us at 10:30 coming up. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about our friends at Michelson.
If you wear contacts or eyeglasses, you're wasting money each and every year on contacts and solution. I'm speaking from experience. I did it for more than a decade. Got the procedure done, the LASIK procedure from Dr. Mark Michelson over 20 years ago. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing as well. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Rockstar, if you'll give me cut 6, this made, it's still this morning was on the front page of ESPN.com. and several other national outlets. I want to take you back to yesterday's show, and LT wasn't here for this. I want his reaction to what Peyton Thorne told us about. I mean, you get comments on message boards, and sometimes even people get your phone number and call up, leave a message, and all the
just ask JP.
Yeah, all the hate that can happen when you're a college football quarterback, especially after you lost a game, and then this happened on our show yesterday.
You've grown up in this. You're a smart enough guy to know that you don't play quarterback at a place like Auburn in an SEC school and don't get some criticism for it. How do you deal with that? How do you drown it out? I mean, what do you do with that?
Yeah, obviously everyone says that, you just don't listen to it and all that. And sometimes that's easier said than done because in today's world, they come at you in all different angles. You hear it verbally, and that's probably the least one. But, just walking down the street, you hear it sometimes. And then obviously the social media they hit you on Venmo, all types of stuff. So, you just have to block it out. You have to go back to where your foundation is in your life. And for me, that's, my faith and my family. And so, just doing that, but also just keep the focus on what's next. There's not, like I said, there's nothing we can do about Saturday, but I can handle today.
They're coming after your Venmo, Peyton?
Explain that one to me. I've never heard that. Like they send you cash?
No.
They're definitely not sending cash. Okay. It's funny when they lose money, they want the money back, but when they win money on a parlay, no one's ever sending any money. So
I mean, have you ever?
I see
You
now.
ever heard of
What
that?
a dumb question.
You ever heard of that? That people reaching out Venmo, hey, I lost a $100 parlay.
I don't think anybody genuinely thinks they're getting that money.
Give it back to me.
I think it's more like, I think it's pretty amazing that people are so open in the Venmo community. Like, I think Venmo's an incredible app. Like, it's something that was needed, one of those easy probably inventions that you would think about and you'd be like, oh, there's no need for that. And then once it's done, you're like, damn, how do we live without Venmo?
I actually do. Mine got compromised so many times I just shut it down.
Did it really?
Yeah. And it's pain when it does.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've got...
Well, I would highly recommend do not leave money in your Venmo account. A lot of people almost use it like a checking account. I had zero. I had zero in there. Venmo, I just used Like if I owed Dunaway 20, I'd move 20 in there and send it to Dunaway.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like I think I'm on private, but everybody that's public, you see all of these transactions, and so
$10 for coffee.
Yeah,
it's probably easy to find some of these guys' Venmo. So I'm not surprised. I mean, just a sarcastic dick out there that lost money, and
we had great viewers yesterday hitting. I don't know if they
now
did
I probably
Brownie.
Lance is like I have a bad day. I'm probably going to have
Probably
people
so.
now that Peyton Thorne has brought this up.
Yep.
I had a couple of our viewers yesterday wanting $2 back or $5 back for that segment or something. I thought that's
pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
Like it.
All right, you can see that whole interview on our YouTube page. And I don't know how many people used that video yesterday. Taylor was in a good mood today, so I guess a lot of people gave us credit.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because if not, she would have
She
been.
polices it.
She'd have been jumping through the roof. All right, top of the hour, Hydra Live bringing you that part of the hour. 2 more to go here on the next round. Tell us about those great folks.
Fantastic. I'm going to need these guys in the next couple of days. I think actually they're coming out. Oh my gosh, it might be tomorrow or Friday. I don't know. Anyway, Daniel Jones, our nurse from Hydra Live, he is coming out to give us bags in the next couple of days or early next week. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It is all under one roof. Very important. You mentioned the next round, you're going to get 20% off all those incredible services. Members also rewarded with deep discounts. Save up to 50% off all regular pricing for all services. Plus, receive 1 free IV bag per month with the impressive savings and benefits members receive. You recoup that IV membership fee in just 1 visit. Hydra Live Therapy open daily 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, go online, hydralivetherapy.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buckin' Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Raid, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to our sneaky good game here in this segment and also talk a little bit about some of the games going on in the country that aren't sneaky good, that are just flat out good. Brown has already pointed out that it is a sneaky bad weekend of college football.
Oh, it is an awful weekend.
Yeah, you know,
it's not awful.
No,
yeah, it's bad.
I can't believe you wouldn't say this. I think you were the one dogging out like week 1 or something.
No, I don't dog out any weeks.
That's not true.
Any weeks. I don't dog out any weeks. I don't dog out anything
I mean,
anymore. Since I'm on these happy pills, man, everything is good.
No, literally, the Thursday and Friday night games would be some of the marquee games this weekend.
Yeah, UNLV Kansas is very entertaining. So
Arizona State,
Kansas State.
Arizona Texas State.
I find joy in every TV window. You can find joy with our friends at Wonder Fans, this new app. Tell us about this.
I will,
this is
but
pretty amazing.
You try to find me a nighttime window.
Well, we're about to do that whole segment on us finding good things to talk about in college football.
Now, I am excited to announce our new sponsoring partner, WonderFan. WonderFan is first of its kind stadium rewards app where sports fans actually earn real rewards simply by cheering for their favorite team. All you need to do is head to the App Store. Very important. Go on and download the app. Wherever you are, download this where you have it. Check in once you're at the stadium and let your earnings grow. It's that easy. During each game you attend, you'll earn in the background once you press start, and once you have enough earnings, you can redeem for cash vouchers to your favorite retailers like Dick's, Champion, Lulu, 47 Brand, and more. So think about it. You got a girlfriend that's bored at the game, get her to download this app. She can sit there and shop. Yeah. Absolutely free. There's even weekly ticket giveaways. You can use your points to enter. New rewards are added weekly. Again, just head to the App Store, search WonderFan, WUNDER fan. That's WonderFan. Start being paid for your fan loyalty. WonderFan, it pays to be a fan. And guess what? If they don't have your local stadium venue, just let them know, and they will have it added within 48 hours.
That's pretty cool stuff right there for a fan. You want something good in prime time?
Yes, Jim.
Let Kirby Smart sell you on how good Georgia can. Brown, listen. Let Kirby Smart, the modern day, who is the big circus guy?
P.T. Barnum.
The modern day P.T. Barnum of college football. Listen to the excitement of Kirby Smart, #1 Georgia, having to go on the road, an SEC road game at night in Kroger Field. It just oozes greatness. Listen to Kirby's excitement about the game against Kentucky.
Coach, I know obviously, it's true. They know any SEC road game is going to be tough, but when you play an opponent like Kentucky who's coming off a game like they did, does that make them even more dangerous than what they might ordinarily be?
I don't know. I think it's all about perception and how you perceive things. They're just as dangerous whether they won or lost that game, in my opinion. I mean, I don't get into the whole we're going to prepare the same way regardless of what happened in that game. A lot of things went wrong quickly for them in that game, and it snowballed in some ways. And I know what they're capable of. I've seen them on tape. I know the football players they got. I know how physical they are. I know how they're coached. And we got to get ready for a really tough opponent.
I mean, hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
Kirby pumped.
I mean, that's the Herb Street Fowler game.
Yeah, Kentucky's offense was
You're
so
not kidding
bad.
about that. That is the Herb Street
No,
Fowler
I'm not
game.
kidding
No,
about
I know.
that.
183 total yards against South Carolina. They score 6 points. They have 11 penalties, 2 turnovers, 3 of 14 on third downs. Brock Vandergriff, who the reports were in the offseason, they got a steal for $750,000. I don't know if you guys know this, but Georgia has not allowed a touchdown in their first 2 games.
Oh, wow.
They are a combined 82-6 over their first 2 opponents, and they've won 41 straight.
Yeah.
I really don't see this as a threat for the Georgia Bulldogs.
I don't either. That was me being sarcastic.
I know.
Yeah. Another game. We'll do sneaky good in a second. I hate to go to this game. Maybe
Well, hang
one of
on.
your
I
sneaky
got something
goods.
on Georgia,
Okay.
Kentucky. I mean, I don't know how good this next one's going to be, but Georgia, Kentucky, let's let that one breathe, Jeff.
Okay.
It's a great.
right.
What is the closest Kentucky has been to beating them of late?
I think it was
Because-
like a 10-3 game. There was like one really disgusting game.
Well, 16-6 2 years
Maybe
ago.
that was it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all disgusting when Kentucky's involved because they suck on offense. There was a 14-3 back in 2020. I mean, this is. Kentucky has not won this game since 2009 in Athens.
It's not even
And
a good basketball matchup.
It's not even a good basketball matchup. You're right. I mean, this has just been blowout after blowout after blowout. There is no reason to think this game is even worth watching. And what Kirby's upset about is he knows he can't go in and convince his defense this offense can beat them because they're smart enough to watch the film and they see what Lance just gave you.
If Clemson can't do it, Kentucky can't.
I mean, Brock Vandegrift threw for 30 yards.
Don't make it sound like Candy Griff.
Brock
Vandegrift
threw for 30 yards.
You said Vandy Griff.
Vandy. I mean,
if he had gone to Vandy.
Oh, Vandy's got a better quarterback.
Yeah.
He couldn't start at Vandy right now. He would. No, he would not. Do you think he'd start at Vandy right now in front of our guy that transferred in that you found out?
No. Fat quarterback? No.
The fat quarterback, Diego
Yeah.
Pavia? No, he would not start in front of Pavia.
No, not at all.
I think Vandy Griff may be the worst quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Storm Restoration Roofing is going to bring you our spotlight today. Greg from Pell City, he's sneaky good on a roof, man. That guy will get up there and find anything wrong in that roof, and he does it for free. It's a free, no-cost obligation. All you have to do is call the number that's about to pop up on your screen for our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That number is 205-542-3531. That's his lovely wife, Andrea, standing between 2 old men down at the bottom left-hand screen. And her and her husband own the company. They've owned it for a while now. It's been locally owned for over 20 years. A lot of the crew members are family members that lead the crews out to take care of your roof. They do storm replacement, roof replacement, and so much more. But a free, no-cost roof inspection from the agency that is trusted by insurance agents everywhere and A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. It's Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Go check him out, Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Rockstar, hit it,
The
man.
College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
Self-explanatory, sneaky good. And hey, on a weekend where Lance and Brownie, they may like go play pickleball or something. They may not even watch football this weekend. Sneaky good game, Brown. Did you find one?
I did. I mean, people are smart enough to know that we love every week, but we're going to call it out when it's a bad week. And it's a bad week.
It's a bad week.
Bad week. But I found one for you, primetime on Fox, Jimmy, if you want a sneaky good game. We got Central Florida playing TCU.
Oh, the Gus Bus is a favorite on the road?
Gus Bus is a favorite on the road. That always goes well for him. 2.5-point favorite on the road. The total in this game, though, is 62. So if you like offense, these two offenses, they'll give you a little. 6:30 Fox. That is Fox's main primetime game.
Wow.
UCF at TCU. Such a good weekend, Jimmy D, that Fox says, you know what we're going to put primetime?
Yep.
Central Florida at TCU. That's what we're going to put primetime.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can go back and air old versions of the practice.
They cannot. Central Florida, by the way, third in the nation in total offense. So they have been moving the ball, the Gus Bus has. So that's why that total is so high. 62 is your total in that one.
Okay.
6:30 on Fox if you want a sneaky good game.
My sneaky good game, I got two. Such a good weekend. Two sneaky good games. BYU and Wyoming, 8 o'clock CBS Sports Network, guys. You know it's a good weekend when you can go to the CBS Sports Network for a good game. BYU coming off the upset of Wyoming, the upset of SMU. Wyoming, great home field venue, beautiful trees in one of their end zone, great uniform game. I love that game. And then sneaky good, Ducks Beavers. Going to have great headlines this weekend.
Beavers and Ducks.
2:30 on Fox. Another big Fox game, man. Big day on Fox.
How about that? The Civil War.
I tell you what you don't want to do is play a 5:30 CW game on Tobacco Road.
See, this is
you
why.
just don't want to. The Rebels have rolled up. Ole Miss, almost 1,500 yards in 2 games, 128 points. Jackson Dart has been incredible. Ole Miss at Wake. Hank Bachmeier, the old transfer quarterback. I don't know what this cat is.
That's the cat I drew for you yesterday. I thought it looked like the Cougars.
I just throw some names and programs around it.
It's my black cat game of the week.
Hank Bachmeier has been great through 2 games. Look, the Demon Deacons did lose to Virginia last week, 31-30. But Demon Claiborne has been really good at running the football. He'll try to slow things down. And don't be surprised if Wake gets inside the number.
Biggest total on the board this weekend for that game, by the way. So
that cat is Dave Clawson.
Actually, Daniel says with Ole Miss, you never know if that's one of their alternative mascots. They got a
true.
shark, they got a rebel.
They have to change it.
Yeah,
dude, look at that one snaggletooth on the his right tooth. Is really long.
That was supposed to be your
that was your
Washington
drawing
State pick yesterday.
for Washington State. That's the way you would have drawn it had you been here yesterday. I thought.
Yeah, you know what? It's weird. I had we got Apple Cup this, and everybody's hyped about the September Apple Cup, but I had Washington State shirt on yesterday. I've got Washington hat on today.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Lance telling us he's moving to Seattle.
Right. We got Rockstar. We got LT living in Pacific time. Yeah, it's only 8:14 on LT's body clock right now.
Second biggest total. Let me correct myself. Clean up some dead wood there. Second biggest total of the weekend. Yes.
Did you just clean up some dead wood?
I cleaned up some dead wood. Biggest total of the weekend. Do you know off the top of your head, Lance?
Biggest total of the weekend, I am going to say quickly.
It was almost my sneaky good game because of this, but the point spread is 9.5. It was in, I think, an upset alert yesterday. North Texas at Texas Tech.
Oh, that's Scott. Nope. That's Lunceford's.
69.5 is your total in that one. Ole Miss Wake is 64, so second biggest total.
Some big totals there. That's our spotlight today. You heard Brown clean up a little dead wood as he usually makes a mistake, and we got a sponsor for it, Gray's Tree Services. They've helped LT out. They've helped Rocky out, and they can help you out too. Gray's cleans up the dead wood on the show for us every day when it happens, and instantly happening today with Brownie again.
Oh, I think I'm staying away from Wake Forest. Now, you know what Hank Bachmeier's passing yards on the season are?
What?
208.
666.
Oh, no.
Don't you, if you're a statistician, don't you just kind of like...
You find him another yard somewhere.
Yeah. Pull one back. If I'm Hank, I'm like, give me 665.
Give me something.
Family owned and operated for over 25 years right here in Birmingham. Experts in high-risk tree removals, pruning, and so much more. Gray's maintains fleet of specialized cranes and lifts to get the job done right, prevent damage to your home. You've probably seen them rolling around town. Make the phone call that I made a couple of months ago. They do a fantastic job. Extracted 4 trees from my house. Dunaway said Rocky used them, Reed's used them. 205-281-6100. You can scan that QR code on your screen right now, or visit graystree.com. Trusted by nearly every golf course in town, the Birmingham Zoo. No competition. Call our friends at Gray's today, 205-281-6100, and tell them the next round sent you.
One of top 25 matchups nobody's talking about, 11:45. Why is game day not here for number 24 Boston College on the road in Columbia, Columbia, Missouri there for number 6 Missouri? Brown, you laugh.
I do.
You laugh, but this could be a good game.
Okay.
If we're searching, this could be a good game.
Don't do this now. Now you're trying to sell me on week 3. Let me rewind to after BC Florida State when I said, that game looks a little different now, Boston College and Missouri, and I think you were, no. I mean, you immediately discounted that.
I just think Missouri wins the game. No problem.
It looks a little different. Give me that. It looks a little different than you looked at it in the preseason.
Well, it does look a little different if I walk in to
it looks a little different because of the way Boston College played in Tallahassee.
I think it looks a little different because of the other games around it.
Okay.
It looks a lot better now. I've walked into a school cafeteria.
Right. I was in one this morning. Had breakfast with my daughter.
And I walk in, and they've got that yucky vegetable soup they used to have. And they've got that creamy, too much coleslaw that was never good. The fake pimento cheese and square pizza. All of a sudden, BC Missouri is square pizza this
Square
week. I'm
pizza.
like, of all of that, that looks fantastic.
All right,
I'll
I've
take
never
the
thought
square
about this
pizza.
real quick on the bright pimento cheese that can't be homemade. I don't know how they make it, but that is the exact color scheme of the creamsicle, is it not? Because it's got the little red pimento in it.
Yep. And it just is. I hated pimento cheese. Never tried it because of how bad it was in school.
Well, I told you the only
and then
reason
later in life I went back and had real pimento cheese and delicious.
Well, the first time I ever tried it, it looked so bad. I went to get my gas station chili dogs. Probably why I've got diverticulitis now.
Could have contributed.
Yeah, but went to get those and they were out, and the only thing they had at the gas station late night was the pimento cheese, and I tried it and I was like, damn, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I had some real pimento cheese and it was really good.
It's really good.
better.
Missouri is a 17-point favorite in this game as much as we try to sell it. It is a uphill climb for Boston College. I just think Castellanos is a quarterback that can cause troubles for you. I mean, much like what Byron Brown did against Alabama Saturday, where the play breaks down and he's able to make rush yards. Castellanos does that for Boston College.
Castellanos more of a Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he's nowhere near the size of Byron Brown. Yeah,
Brown more of a Jalen Hurts or Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, probably so. A bigger guy that can run and punish you a little bit. Castellanos, he's just fast. He's quick. He's smaller. But I just think, Jim, he can make some plays for you. And, you never know. Busted play turns into a touchdown here, a touchdown there. And this is a different game. I don't think by any stretch BC is going to win. I am just saying, after the way I saw them against Florida State, I do look at this game a little bit differently.
Okay, quick reaction to all this. First one, right off the bat, Forrester and I have a little a snippet for your USC Trojans. You're a great sales guy, LT. Did you ever think you'd live to see a day when USC, one of their presenting sponsors, they've gone into a multi-year marketing deal with a cannabis company, Cookies.
Are you serious about this?
There it is. USC, the announcement. New USC Athletics and cannabis CBD company Cookies have inked the first of its kind multi-year marketing deal. How about that?
Yeah.
We're in a point now where
because
we were worried about they're going to have gambling sponsorships on the field maybe. This isn't on the field, but it's a multi-year marketing deal, which means probably there'll be commercials.
Well, the only thing that's
radio
interesting
broadcast.
about this, obviously, there's dispensaries on every corner out in LA now. Is you've got to be 21 plus to go in there, much like alcohol. And we know, I don't think there's any NIL deals that are allowed with alcohol companies. So how can you do it? Now, is that just CBD or is it THC? If it has no THC.
The company is a cannabis and CBD company.
Okay.
So they may be just promoting the CBD.
Yeah, so it might not be THC. But I'm just wondering if it has any THC, if they've got like the edibles available now in the LA Coliseum.
Yeah, I am going to ask.
Which would be a good idea. By the way, I got to bring this up. SoFi last weekend, and you guys have seen some of the Rams. I've told you, Rams fans, they're scary, a lot of them. But last week it was Chargers hosting the Raiders. I've seen no less than 4 fights, different angles, different fights. So maybe start selling the edibles at all Los Angeles events. Yeah, because people don't fight on weed.
Yeah.
Now, it's maybe a dumb question. Are they actually cookies, or is that just the name of the?
They come in cookies and
so they said we're gonna
stuff.
sell cannabis cookies. What do we call our company? Oh, let's call it Cookies.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't know the history of the company. I just know what USC sent out there. I just thought that was unique and interesting there. Quinn Ewers, now your betting favorite to win the Heisman at plus 500 after his performance at Michigan.
Yeah, but
Quinn Ewers is the field right now.
Much out of the field. Much more difficult games coming up for Quinn Ewers.
Okay. Quinn Ewers would be the first at his position to win the Heisman for Texas, which is ironic. Vince Young didn't do it. Colt McCoy didn't do it. Nobody else did it. Their two Heismans are Earl Campbell and Ricky Williams.
Yeah, look, and I would just say this. Vince Young or Colt McCoy in a Sarkisian offense would be dangerous. Quinn Ewers, and look, he came on with us and came on set for SEC Media Days.
We really liked him.
Oh, man, such a likable guy, and loved the Fansville commercials. But he's just not he's a really good quarterback, and he's going to be starting in the NFL. But he's not as good at this level. He's not as good as Vince Young or Colt McCoy was.
Okay. Heavy Deion reaction coming in a second, but one other note. Browns upset alert was Arkansas last week.
That is correct. Snuck that one right in.
Since 2020, there have been 338 games in which one team had 550 plus yards of offense and outgained the other team by more than 200 yards.
Okay, so they've had more than 500 and outgained their opponent by more than 200.
More than 550 and outgained their opponents by 200. There's been 338 games since 2020. 337-1 now. Arkansas is the first team to lose in that situation.
Kidding me?
Since 2020. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Watching that game, and maybe it's just because I think Oklahoma State's better than they are. But when they were down 21 at 7.5, I still thought they were going to win the game.
Did you?
Now, when I started to believe they might not win the game was when they missed the kick in overtime. Like after Arkansas missed the initial kick on the first possession, and then Oklahoma State got it, I was like, game's over.
Yeah.
Then they missed it, and I was like, oh, damn, this could swing the other way quickly.
I really thought at halftime Arkansas was going to win the game.
Oh, me too.
It was 21-7, and Oklahoma State, their only touchdown was that pick six, right, in the first half.
I was enjoying the heck out of it, too. The way they were running the ball.
Yeah, because that game was about to be 21-0, and Oak State had done nothing on offense, and then they get that pick six, and that really changed the game. And that's what, look, Arkansas, I think, this is based on Arkansas Pine Bluff game and Oklahoma State game. I think they're going to be one of those teams that's scary enough because if everything clicks, their offense is going to be hard to stop. But I do think they are prone to turnovers and big mistakes as well.
Corey Stewart, by the way, on Twitter, giving us that stat. Miami's the last team in 2019 to be in that situation where they had that many yards and then still lose the football game. And now here's your Deion moment of the day, Aaron Murray, coming up in our next segment to talk about Auburn's offense and everything else going on in the Southeastern Conference. But there had been a big buzz going around on the internet and in Colorado circles, some people that were really upset about this, that Deion Sanders, the reports were that Deion Sanders had told the band that after Shedeur scores a touchdown, you cannot play the fight song because we're going to play Shedur's song. And Shedeur has a favorite song. I forget the name of it.
I think it's a song Shedeur recorded.
It is a
Shedeur. I believe so, yes.
Wait, let me finish the story. Yeah. So Shedeur scores a touchdown, and the PA system instantly plays Shedeur's song over the loudspeakers. He dances. And then...
Is that the way he dances? Yeah. And then they kick the extra point, and then they're allowed to play the fight song, is the way I understood the story.
According to a CU spokesperson, they play a small version, a quick version of Shedeur's song, and then they play the fight song. And they say Deion did not ask the band to do that. That came up by Game Ops. Game Ops came up with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. They do play, apparently after a made field goal, a specialty song for the field goal kicker, too.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm serious.
Well, this won't last long because, and I brought this up in the offseason, and I know things get skewed because you and I came on after the North Dakota State game, and we talked about how good Shedeur looked. And Shedeur looked really good in that game. Didn't look good against Nebraska. The offensive line is awful. But I said earlier in the summer, and I think I was the first to say it, that I think this is like a 2 or 3 win team.
Yeah.
I just don't think Colorado's going to be good. I thought that their defense has made adjustments in game 1 and game 2 to make those scores look better than the result ended up being. But my fear earlier this summer was once they start to lose these games, if you're Shedeur, like anybody else would shut down a quarterback like that is viewed as a top 10 pick. How does Deion handle this? Because without Shedeur, they don't win a game. And if Deion shuts him down, is Deion just basically tapping out himself? Like, what direction does this whole Colorado program go?
We could learn more. Colorado State this weekend. Mike Sando, and we got to get to a break with Aaron Murray coming up, but Mike Sando at The Athletic writes a story quoting 2 high-ranking NFL executives, he says, who are anonymous, so I'll say that. So I don't know what level they are, but he says 2 high-ranking NFL executives who say they look at Colorado as just Deion Sanders taking that job to promote Shedeur for the NFL. That basically he only took that job as a promotional tour.
Colorado benefited from that, though. So Colorado can't pretend that that's bad for them.
Okay, here's what I would say, though. And this is Deion's ego getting in the way, if that is true. Because what a better way to promote him than say, you know what? How much better is he than Will Howard? Night and day. Like if he went and played in Chip Kelly, Ryan Day's offense at Ohio State with those weapons, they would be unstoppable offensively. So the best way to have the highest profile is to play for a number 1 team.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
He was with him at Jackson State and, of course, there. It'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend, Colorado State. That's a must-tune-in game on CBS, 6:30 prime time, just for the bad blood that carries over from last year's great overtime contest that drew over 9 million viewers in the late window on ESPN that didn't finish until 1 a.m. Central Time, and it still drew over 9 million viewers. We'll see what it does this week, 6:30 prime time on CBS. All right, Aaron Murray coming up on the other side of the show, being brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. LT, tell us about the Gutter Cap way of changing your life.
Yeah, look, Chris Stewart, an absolutely incredible guy. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. You will never have to clean the gutters out again, ever. Right now, 45% off the retail price. Look, the leaves are going to start falling. The last thing you want to do on weekends is get on the roof. It's a dirty, dangerous job. Do what I did over 2 decades ago. Call my good friend Chris Stewart. He will come out and give you an absolutely free estimate. You have zero to lose. And by the way, you'll never have to clean those gutters out again. Again, 45% off the retail price. Don't get on the roof. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it. Don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
And don't forget, Friday, October 4th through the 6th, you get the unbelievable Yellowwood 500 weekend, all happening there at Talladega Super Speedway. Don't forget, it's the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR, the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Rate. So upgrade your tickets there. 12 and under, get in free to the track to watch the races that weekend. So go check all that out at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Jake Owen concert on Saturday night. The big races on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Truck Series, Xfinity, and of course the NASCAR playoff race, the Yellowwood 500. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Rate. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
If you just can't wait until 9 a.m. Monday to hear all the headlines from the weekend, wake up to Monday Morning Live with Dunaway and Tom Luganbill, Mondays at 7 a.m. All we're asking for is you to not hit that snooze button on Mondays. Sleep in the rest of the week.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent Trane dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a Trane. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Raid, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, where everybody needs a little playing time.
Walk-ons where everybody needs a little playing time.
That's right, a little PT, baby.
Yeah. Before Georgia was really good with walk-on quarterbacks winning national championship, there was a guy named Aaron Murray who just blew up the record books. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But he got paid to go to school, legally paid to go to school.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, he got scholarship.
Oh, scholarship. Gotcha.
He got legally paid.
Aaron Murray is with ESPN now, Sirius XM. He does snaps with our guy T-Bob. What is up, Aaron Murray? How are you today?
What's going? I wish my dad sent me that article the other day about the Michigan guys, Denard and them, suing the Big Ten Network and I believe the NCAA for $50 million. So I don't know if I want to sue my employee ESPN SEC Network, but I guess we'll sit back and see how that whole thing unfolds.
Man, Georgia, you guys have obviously had some incredible quarterbacks, and after Stetson won his second, we started talking about, is Stetson like a top 5 Georgia Bulldog of all time, just based on the fact that he's got multiple national championships. But like when you look at numbers, you've got the numbers for Georgia quarterbacks. I'm a big Rams guy. The most talented entirety of the career. Would you say Stafford has had the most success?
No, I mean, Stafford definitely didn't have the most success at Georgia. There's no doubt about that. Like, is Stafford the most gifted quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about at Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the entirety of everything.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's had the longest tenure of anyone, I believe. I mean, someone could correct me, maybe go back to Fran in the NFL. But what he's done in the NFL and winning a Super Bowl, yeah, Stafford's the most complete, I would say the most gifted quarterback in Georgia history. But he's not the best Georgia quarterback in Georgia history. Like those are 2 different conversations.
Agree.
Like, to me, it's Stetson. Like Stetson played really well. Stetson is a 4-time MVP in the playoffs. Stetson has 2 national championships. He is that guy. Can Carson be? I think Carson's kind of the mix of both, because Carson is a first round NFL quarterback. He's potentially the number 1 quarterback off the board, top 5 NFL draft pick. And then he's a guy that could win a national championship this season. So to me, Carson can jump Stetson after this year. I know he won't have 2 natties, but he'll have 1, maybe an SEC championship, and then is that first-round caliber talent on top of that. So we may have to reshuffle this whole Georgia quarterback rankings in about 5 or 6 months.
Next time you talk to Stetson, my life goal at one point, I wanted to be so successful that I had a high-end steakhouse. And I didn't have a name for it, Dunaway's or something, but Stetson sounds like a fabulous steakhouse.
Would you go Stetson's or Stetson Bennett's?
I would do Stetson's.
Okay,
Just Stetson.
Stetson sounds good.
Yeah, it's high end. High end. You got to almost get a credit check before you walk in.
Yeah, and before he gets to his question, is Stetson doing okay? Obviously missed all of 2023. I don't know how tight you guys are, but, in that mental space, pulling for that guy in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be doing well from when I talked to him before. This was well before camp started with the Rams. And I know it's kind of an up and down preseason for him, but glad he's on the roster. We'll see. I think Garoppolo's suspension goes through 2 games.
Two games,
hopefully,
yep.
Hopefully they keep him, whether it's on the roster. If not, I'm sure they'll put him on the practice squad at the end of the day. So he'll have a spot there in Los Angeles going forward. But man, he's a competitor. I know at times it got a little bit rocky with the fan base at Georgia, which is still, I think it was overblown at times. And because we all deal with it. I mean, hell, Bobo deals with it every single week. I think, what I try to tell Stetson, and I know Bobo knows this, I know this, and from Greeny to Shock and everyone in between, from the people that are the ones being negative are always going to be the most vocal. They're going to be the loudest. They're going to be all over social media. They're going to be in your face. But that is such a small percentage. Like 99% of fans love Stetson. They appreciated what he did. They love the story. And you can go down the wormhole of that 1% and it could drive you crazy. And I think that's what happened to Stetson at times. But man, he is beloved in this state.
Brought to you by our friends at Stetson's High-End Dining is Aaron Murray with us on the show. Reason I wanted to have you on, I don't know if Brown had pre-planned it or not, but every time we talked about Peyton Thorne's performance on Saturday, every time it'd be 18, 19, 20 people. You got to go check out Aaron Murray's breakdown of the game. You got to go check out Aaron Murray's breakdown of the game. So what did you see happening with the Auburn offense on Saturday?
Yeah, I've never had this much love from Auburn fans my entire life. It's crazy. Like, I got Auburn fans asking me to come be the quarterback coach there at Auburn.
They'd like for you to be the quarterback.
They all of a sudden like me. I mean, one fan tweeted me like, "Hey, can you go back and redeclare and be our quarterback?
Yeah.
We'll forgive you for all the games prior." So it is funny. But no, like, listen. We all want to focus on the quarterback. I get it. I was in the position for 4 years. It's all about the quarterback, and even more so in today's game because so much more is put on their plate, from the RPOs to the spread offenses to the up tempos to everything in between. So it is a quarterback-driven college football. It's a quarterback-driven NFL. And then as fans, what do we watch? We watch the ball. So we're always watching the quarterback. So I'm not here to defend Payne Thorne by any means. He did not have a good game. He made mistakes that a guy that's been playing this much football should not be making. Inaccurate a lot of the times, not throwing the football into windows where it's wide open. Numerous things that he cannot be doing that. This is not a situation where it's like, oh, he'll go back and watch the tape and then go make the correction. Like, no, you've watched the tape for 3 years now. Like, you should have already made these corrections. So like, he has to be better. The offensive line has to be better. I think the receivers are better than they were a year ago, but for those who watched the breakdown, to me, I don't know if it was a receiver issue or a running back issue or that's what they're taught, but I counted 3 or 4 times where I think Payne Thorne is going to throw the football. There's 2 receivers or receiver and running back in the same area. So perfect example, this happened twice. You have a backside curl route to your lone receiver, and then the back is supposed to get to the flat. You're supposed to, essentially throw off the flat defender. If the flat defender gets width, you'll throw the curl. If the flat defender settles, you're going to throw it to the flat. Twice, the running back sits right where the defender is. So that defender can cover the curl and that defender can cover the running back. It just does not give a clear picture to the quarterback. And that's 2 completions that would have been first downs. That's a 10 to 12-yard completion to a curl route that could not be thrown because the running back is in the wrong spot. And that happened 3, 4, 5 times in the game. It's like, we can say all we want. Payne Thorne has to get better. He does. He can't make those mistakes. But as an offense, everyone has to play their part too. So hopefully those corrections are being made for the running backs, for the O-line, for the receivers. But, most importantly, Payne Thorne has to take it to another level.
Aaron Murray is with us, former Georgia great, now with ESPN and SiriusXM, also on YouTube with Snaps, the show he does with T-Bob. You can get that same place you get all of our shows. He's on the johnstonrvcenter.com hotline. Hugh Freeze, though, after the game, and it's unclear whether he meant to say the entire game or in a 15-play breakout that he sat down with the quarterbacks. But either way, he said he looked at it, they had one bad play call. One bad play call. Based on your film study, does that pass the sniff test?
I don't think that the play calls are terrible. I think the execution from the players is something. And once again, I don't know if that's player driven, where like the players aren't doing what they're supposed to do, or if that is how they're coached. So like that kind of goes hand in hand. And obviously if they're doing something wrong, like a running back not running into the flat and sitting on a little check down in front of the curl window, that's either you're not teaching him what to do properly, or you're pulling a route concept. To me, from all my experience playing the position, doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest. So like that still goes back to the coaching staff of ingraining something into these guys where they can go out there and execute at a high level. But I will agree, like the majority of the game plan looked fine. There are missed throws. There are missed opportunities that, once again, Payne has to go out there and just let it rip. The problem is right now, he's not I don't think he's in a position where he feels comfortable. So I just did a Cade Klubnik breakdown where I went back from week 1 to week 2 and kind of diagrammed what he did wrong versus Georgia and why he obviously had more success versus App State. One, it's a completely different defense, a lot easier to go out there versus App State compared to Georgia's defense. But you could see the confidence and just letting it rip. He felt more free. He looked more free. He looked more confident. Right now, it's hard being the Auburn quarterback when you're not having success to go out there and play with confidence. And I think that's something that Payne's going to have to battle this entire season. But going back to your question, I agree. I thought the game plan calls were fine. Just some tweaks that need to be made on certain plays.
More impressive through 2 weeks for you, the deputy Quinn Ewers or Jackson Dart?
Tough call.
I had Ole Miss last week. Man, I love both offenses. I think the
24-24 it's a tough thing to do, right?
Very tough thing to do. The first incompletion was just a good defensive play on a RPO seam route. I think another question you have to ask is, as of right now, who would you take as a play caller, Steve Sarkisian or Lane Kiffin? Because I think both of them are on a different level when it comes to schematics than anyone else in the country. And I would kind of lean towards Sark a little bit. Like what Sark does is absolutely incredible. I love the way he has a little bit of a twist on certain route concepts that you just don't see every single week. But if I had to pick one or the other right now, I would probably pick Quinn just because he's done it in a big time environment on the road against Michigan. I'm a big fan of both. I think Quinn's a little bit more of a better passer of the football. Obviously, Dart's a little bit more of an athlete, even though Quinn showed us his ability to get some first downs with his legs last week versus Michigan. But I just think Quinn is a little bit higher ceiling, more that NFL caliber quarterback. I still think Dart's going to be a guy that's going to lead Ole Miss to a 10-2, 11-1 record. He's going to be in the conversation when it comes to the Heisman, all that good stuff. It's fun watching both of them. It's fun watching both offenses.
And I would agree with that. I was spoiled here with Lane's play calling all the years and Sark in their time in Tuscaloosa. I think they're two of the best play callers. You see it from different eyes. I got 2 parts here. One, give me a third guy you enjoy watching who calls plays offensively when you break down tape. And then what do you make of Alabama's new look offense when you break down the Tide right now? So first the answer, and then give me what you think of Alabama.
Yeah, I love my boy Bobo. Come on now. Obviously in Georgia, Bobo doing his thing. I mean, it's been fun. It's been since I'll answer with another one because I know everyone's going to say like, oh, of course he's going to say Georgia. But it has been fun to see his evolution of where we were to now, what he's learned from Monken, and he obviously brings some stuff over as well, moving guys around, the motioning, the shifts, the moving tight ends around, all that good stuff. I mean, I really enjoy Tennessee's offense. I think for those who really don't dive into it, watching a game this past weekend versus NC State, where NC State is dropping 8 players over and over and over and over again, and them just saying, hey, we're not going to beat ourselves, beat our heads into a wall and just throw the football. We are going to run the football with our great offense line and great running back and Dylan. I always enjoy watching those guys do their thing. I love LSU's offense too in the past few years. Would love it if they can run the ball a little bit more, but I enjoy watching what they do route schematic wise in the pass game. And obviously they've had a lot of success with the quarterbacks they've had. Alabama, it's hard to judge Alabama's offense right now because they can't protect. And it's hard to see, is Jalen picking up what Kalen DeBoer is trying to put down? Is he picking up the concepts? Has he developed as a passer? Has he evolved in the intermediate passing game? I can't really tell yet, because last game versus USF, multiple times you saw really bad mic declarations from the offensive line that just didn't make a lot of sense. You saw free guys blitzing. You saw right tackle getting beat over and over again. So I really don't know yet. I think it's going to be better. I anticipate it's going to be better because I know Kalen and his offense is just better than it was a year ago for what Alabama had. I believe Jalen is going to be a more mature quarterback a year or two playing college football. So I just want to see when they are healthy up front, which is hopefully this weekend versus Wisconsin, what they can do on that side of the football. But I think they're going to be fine. It's a big week, though, because you do want to gain some confidence heading into the bye before you do welcome Georgia into Tuscaloosa in a couple weeks.
Oh, there's no welcoming Georgia in. I mean, it's bricks and nails in the road.
Tire irons?
Yeah. It's no welcoming.
Okay, Aaron, I think I know the answer that you're going to go with, but if I asked you a year from now, who do you think will be viewed as the best quarterback in the SEC?
A year from now?
Oh, it's Nico.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, Jalen has another year. I mean, Jalen will come back most likely.
Really?
Maybe.
Really?
Right? I mean, you got to look around the SEC right now. Like, do you think Jalen will go ahead of the guys that are projected to go first? Like, is he ahead of Dart, or not Dart, but is he ahead of Carson? Is he ahead of Ewers? Is he ahead of Shador? So now all of a sudden you're number 4 or 5. And let's not forget, like, this was a really heavy draft class this previous year. So, like, how many NFL teams are going to be drafting a quarterback in the first round? There were 6 this past year. That's 6 teams that will not be drafting a quarterback. So you have to take all that into account. Like, Jalen right now is going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 on the draft board for quarterback. So to me, I come back with DeBoer, and especially if this year doesn't go what Alabama expects it to go or what he wants it to go, why not come back? And I'm sure he'll make plenty of money in the NIL game as well. So, like, Nico's up there, but there's another guy that, like, I'm not trying to start off controversy here, but DJ Lagway's tape last game, and I know it was against Samford, but man, I was really, really, really impressed with DJ. So I'm interested to see how short the leash is for Graham Mertz. But DJ showed me, obviously, he's a tough kid. He's a great athlete. But his ability to push the ball down the field vertically was a lot of fun to watch in that game. So, like, if he gets some more reps this season and we see even just a sliver of what we saw last week for Samford, he could put himself in that conversation of being one of the better guys coming back next season if he does end up staying at Florida.
How happy are you that Will Rogers' 511 pass yards have come for Washington this year?
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. That way I don't have to bitch and moan that, like, oh, it's not fair that he's getting a 5th year to do this. This is nonsense. So, like, I don't have to be grumpy old quarterback saying that all these new rules benefit all these guys and they should put an asterisk by it. So I don't have to worry about it. I can just sit back and just enjoy Will at a conference out there in Washington and actually cheer him on. And not be stressing every week looking at the stats that he puts out.
Yeah, but I would rather have you be grumpy old man than kissing up. I mean, you're kissing up to the Auburn fans, and now you're talking about Lagway of Florida. I don't even know you anymore.
I live next to an Auburn family. Both their kids went to Auburn, so I got to deal with them chirping all year and putting Auburn jerseys on my little bulldog gnome outside my front door and all that good stuff. So I'm just happy, I'm not getting the as much hatred. We're all a little sensitive. I'm a quarterback. I'm sensitive to the hate sometimes. So it's nice to get some positivity from the Auburn fans my way.
Hey, and not to pour salt in the wound, but go back to 2013. It wasn't your fault. Wasn't your fault at all, but it was one of my worst beats of all time in Jordan Hare, where the prayer at Jordan Hare. But a lot of people forget, Aaron, you guys got the ball back, and I could have sworn you scored diving head first. And, I mean, how close was it at the end? You guys still thought you were going to win ball in hand, right?
Well, I mean, the dive. So first off, we're down by 20. And I remember my parents told me afterwards, they actually told my sister just to drive back to Athens just to avoid all the traffic because this game was over. So my sister unfortunately
True
missed the
believers there.
I know, unbelievable, Stephanie. It was so selfish. Happy birthday to her, by the way. Today's her birthday. But still can't believe she left her. No faith in her brother. But anyway, so like that was the biggest comeback in Georgia history. Down 20 points in the fourth quarter, and I was in. I think I might have been slightly concussed when I dove in the end zone, but that was called a touchdown. So we took the lead. And then the Hail Mary, for the tip and all that crazy nonsense. But going to the next possession, we had like a minute or so to do a 2-minute drill. And we work, we have our bag of plays for 2 minutes. So the one that we called was trips left, 2-jet falcon. So it's a 3-by-1 formation. The 2 inside receivers run vertical. The number 3 receiver, the number 1 receiver, the outside receiver runs a big dagger route. It's great versus cover 2. Most teams in 2-minute drive are going to run some sort of 2, Tampa 2, that sort of thing. And the 2 inside receivers are taught to run towards the outside shoulder of the defender. So our tight end, not trying to blame anyone here, but our tight end is supposed to run to the outside shoulder of the safety because you want him to turn towards the sideline, and then you have that dagger route will come underneath it. So at cover 2, bam, I rip the dagger to Rontavious Woon. He catches it, gets 30, 40 yards, gets tackled by the safety. Go back and watch the tape. There is no one left, and our tight end ran through the inside shoulder of the safety.
Oh.
So he sees the completion because his back's turned towards the middle of the field and not towards the sideline or whatever you know that makes sense. So he sees it and makes a tackle. If it's like the small details, once again, if he runs to the outside shoulder, there's a chance we would have had a 70-yard touchdown to win the football game after the prayer. How crazy is that?
70-yard touchdown
are just wild.
Yeah, 70-yard
I'm not salty about it. I don't think about it at all.
Sorry to bring that up.
But
yeah. Do you know the tight end's name? Do you remember?
Don't do that.
I do. Of course I know.
Do
I'm
that.
not going to call him out. He's my boy. But I mean, everyone can watch the tape.
All right. He is Aaron Murray. You can go follow Aaron on Twitter at Aaron Murray11. Snaps is the podcast he does with T-Bob all the time. Somebody in the chat room, the mybookie.ag chat room, says T-Bob takes it off the rails frequently. Like, we don't experience that every time T-Bob comes on the show. Yeah. He takes
frequently. I mean, I'm just waiting for our channel to get canceled off YouTube with some of the stuff he says every day.
Yes,
I'm just like, what?
I know.
How did we get into this?
We've lived it. Also, see him on ESPN, the SEC Network, here on Sirius XM. Excellent stuff, Aaron. We greatly appreciate the time.
I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the week.
All right, you too. Take care. Aaron with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. You can see his series of quarterback breakdowns. He did Milroe, he did Thorne, but he's done a lot of others right there on social media at Aaron Murray11.
And the show being brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus, LT.
CPAP Plus wants to remind you, don't buy your mask and supplies from Amazon or online. Go see the folks at CPAP Plus. See what you're actually buying. Visit any of the 3 convenient locations, Pelham, Highway 280, now in Trustful. Free CPAP checkups, free filters, no appointment needed. They carry the best equipment from names like ResMed, React, Mask and Supplies in stock every single day. Do you need it today? Guess what? They've got it today. They've also got travel CPAP machines with over 200 5-star reviews on Google. The folks at CPAP Plus, CPAP users themselves, so the people helping you know what it's like and are ready to help. Just Google CPAP Plus or stop into one of those 3 convenient locations. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. Am I right about this? Did I just read game day is going to be in Columbia?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's how bad this schedule is.
Yeah, they were going to be for the Georgia-Kentucky game, but Kentucky lost, so they switched to that one.
Could not justify it.
That's why I brought it up earlier. They should be in Como for that huge top 25 matchup of Boston College and Missouri.
Alabama is a 16-point favorite right now over the Wisconsin Badgers as we see it here live on the show. You can find that one at mybookie.ag. UAB, a 24-point dog at Arkansas. As Arkansas probably playing a little bit of a mad on in that one after the way they collapsed. Georgia, a 24-point favorite at Kentucky, which is where Jim was saying they were going to go. Auburn, 28-point favorite at home over New Mexico for homecoming. Just a few of the games you can play right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. When you use code next round, you're going to make your initial deposit to play. They're going to double that. They're going to double it, and you can play with it right away at mybookie.ag. I gave you some point spreads. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Week 3 of college football starting Thursday night. Week 2 of the NFL starting with Dolphins and Bills Thursday night. MyBookie.ag code next round. MyBookie.ag code next round.
I'm starting to regret letting Lunceford and Forrester into our into our upset alert.
Are they doing too good?
They're off to a good start. Forster's in the lead. And he picked Purdue to beat Notre Dame this weekend. News out of South Bend yesterday after practice. Riley Leonard has injured his non-throwing shoulder, is expected to play, but expected to play maybe with a harness on.
I saw the offensive coordinator say, based on his knowledge of the injury, and I can't remember the coordinator's name, my apologies for that. Based on his knowledge.
It's Mike Denbrock, right?
Did Denbrock go back?
The kid from LSU.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay, so Denbrock said he, based on his knowledge of the injury, he doesn't anticipate any plays are off the table.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm not going to have to call my game around this. Now, Riley Leonard runs with physicality.
Right.
So that's interesting if that injured shoulder isn't taking plays off Denbrock's play sheet.
Did you know that information, Forster, when you took our money and made that play yesterday?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, Scott's a sharp. No, Scott's a sharp. I've
Insider
learned that.
information.
It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Scott just sits back there, head down, does his job better than anybody in the world, but he's got that gambling mind in him.
I know what he does in commercial breaks now.
That's right.
He's on some service.
MyBookie.ag.
Yeah, that's what he does. By the way, the old Pac-12, currently I think they're 12-1 or something like that. They've only lost one game, the old Pac-12. And they clapped back at the SEC this weekend. A couple of their game posters.
Yeah.
Arizona State with their win over Mississippi State. We only ring one bell.
Oh, wow.
With their win.
Hey, and that's pretty looked good. For a minute like it was going to be a dick whipping.
Yeah, it was not. State scored on that long touchdown and just never could get anything else going after that.
Almost got me inside the number.
Yeah, I stayed up to the end. State made a good showing of themselves out there. They've got a little offense.
Yeah, and you want a big game weekend. I mean, Toledo, Mississippi State, 6:30 on Maine ESPN this weekend.
Jim, come on.
Maine ESPN, Toledo and Mississippi State.
Boy, that is on Maine ESPN.
Yeah, it has to be an entertaining game. I mean, up and down the field. I mean, it's track. Forget the uniforms. It'd be a fun football game. And then what went on in Jordan-Hare Stadium, Cal, easy clout back. Not even really creative. It just means more.
Yeah, that one gets thrown back at you if you're the SEC.
Yeah.
I understand. It's
Yeah.
an easy line to throw it back.
Top of the hour. Don't forget Bud Light Game Night. Any update weather-wise? Are we still on for tomorrow? Bud Light Game
I
Night.
will check. I reached out just to see what the situation might be. I've got nothing.
Well, let's just do it anyway. Let's just tell everybody we'll be at Hillside.
Yeah.
Whether we do a show or not, we may just do something on our phone. We'll get there. We'll hang out. We'll eat.
We'll be there either way.
Yeah, we'll be there either way. Hillside tomorrow night. It's in Vestavia, if you haven't heard of it. Right across from the Vestavia Community Center, right there on Highway 31. You'll see it.
City Center.
City Center, yes. Right there across the street from the Vestavia City Center. It's Hillside, Bud Light Game Night. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and easy to hang out with us. Tomorrow, 5 to 7, come. Let's have a drink, raise a glass of Bud Light or Michelob Ultra or Stella to another great football weekend right here on The Next Round.
Follow Jon Lunceford on Twitter @jlunce.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, you. Feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair. To kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Bright Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, where everybody needs a little playing time.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Rave, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Everyone, what?
I'm laughing at the chat room.
They're on the DW.
Well, Greg from Pell City had his grandson in his car when Lance graphically described that beating that Mississippi State almost gave, and he's now having to explain to his grandson what that kind of beating is. And the best response is from Brad of the MyBookie.ag chat room. He says, just tell him that old Dick Whippen was the 1973 Winston Cup champion.
Yeah.
You remember Dick Whippen? He drove the old Skull Bandit car.
Yeah. Occasionally the Hooters car too. What's a Hooter? That's a story for another time.
You're out of questions, kid. Hush.
Yeah. Just sit back and enjoy your.
Greg, got to learn at some point. Got to learn at some point.
I've had 3 people now. Michael is the last one to send me a picture of Ryan Williams wearing a Next Round mouth guard at practice.
So my brother bought some football gear for his son, and it had Next Round on there. And my brother legitimately texted me and said, "Are you guys doing this stuff now?"
No, we should have.
We're not doing football equipment. We do T-shirts.
Yeah. I'll send it to you, Forrester. The picture everybody's seeing.
Yeah, it's apparently a. Did you notice one of the offensive linemen had 2 mouthpieces on his face mask?
It is a trend. I don't know why, because I saw somebody in a NFL game had 2 going the other night as well.
Really?
Yeah.
There was. I can't remember which college game I was watching. I want to say it was the Alabama-South Florida game, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. No. I've seen. Not just 2 players, several players rolling with 2 mouthpieces.
Well, but neither one of them were in his mouth.
That's right.
They're decorative
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it too much.
What?
If you want to, let's just play guessing. Why do you think they have 2 mouthpieces?
I'm going to say they for an offensive lineman, every pancake he throws another mouthpiece on there in a game.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've had 2 pancakes.
I'm going to guess that I've lost someone, a former teammate close to me in my life, and I'm wearing that one to honor him.
Okay.
I got my mouthpiece and that mouthpiece for him. I know nothing about the stories of any of these people wearing it.
I don't think that's it, but I don't know.
Could be.
What a great tribute that would be.
I'm wearing Tony's mouthpiece the rest of my life.
Tony would be here with me if he hadn't died in a car accident.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of
There we
looks
go.
strange.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, so that's the next round mouthpiece.
Yeah, NXTRND.
We didn't have enough room for all our letters.
Yeah, but it's a good T-shirt. NXTRND. Like Run DMC theme to it.
Yeah,
be pretty cool. And nobody likes my T-shirt ideas. But I always look happy in pictures, according to Royal Payne and everyone over in the chat room when we run through the pictures. That's from practice there. This hour of the show brought to you always by our friends at Champy's. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. You want to see happiness, just go there and look at people eating that fried chicken. They love it right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's been there over a decade. Man, you got a restaurant that's still thriving like they are at Champy's Chicken with Sterling and the crew after a decade in the same location. That's when you know you're at the top of your game. And that's where Sterling and his team is, right there with that brined overnight, cooked to order fried chicken, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. It's champyschicken.com. 4 downs in just a second. Trash later on. Bryan Vincent still to come this hour of the show. That is also being brought to you by our friends at Lanyas Furniture.
Yeah, Lanyas Furniture, a great place to pick up any of that furniture you need for your guy room, your man cave, the Flex Steel recliners from Lazy Boy, the sectionals. They've got them on sale. Special financing available right now. Get in, see Reggie and John. Ask about those specific pieces. Tell them the next round sent you. If you're looking for great inventory, great pricing, Lanyas is the place you need to go. Friends at Lanyas believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, entertainment, and a slew of mattresses. Again, special financing is available. Call 205-647-4311. Or if you're driving from Birmingham, very simple. Take exit 280 off of I-65. It's the Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles. Lanyas is going to be right there on your right. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you.
Are you guys concerned about Oregon? Rockstar cut 11. Dan Lanning gets asked if he still thinks of the Oregon State game as a rivalry now that it's a September non-conference game. This one's happened. You mentioned the Apple Cup earlier. We also have the old Civil War this weekend, Oregon and Oregon State. It's good television this weekend. Here's Dan Lanning.
With this game now moved to September and not being a conference game, does it still feel kind of have that same rivalry sense to it going into this week?
It certainly does to me. I think, the rivalry is something I always appreciate. I think that makes it college football fun. I think those things are a lot of fun, and this is a game that's had back and forth for us. Year one we weren't able to pull it out. Last year we were, but this is a fun game for the state of Oregon. It's certainly a fun game for our players. I think they know exactly what it means. It means a little bit more. Is it another game? Yeah, it's another game. Is it important for us? It's very important for us. Our guys want to go out there and have success.
Nobody's been flattered to start this season than the Oregon Ducks.
Flatter.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said flattered.
So I really believed, look, and Ashton Genty is an incredible running back. But for what he did on the road against them in Eugene, I was blown away. And Oregon was able to keep this thing close because they had
a
kick return. Yeah, like
2 of them.
Yeah, without it, they don't win the game.
Special teams, they don't win the game. And I just don't believe Boise. I think Boise's really good for a Group 5, but Boise's defense is beyond shaky. They don't have great quarterback play. So I am more than concerned with Oregon. I think it's the offensive line. I like Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is not what Bo Nix gave you last year, though, or the last 2 years.
There have been 2 games this year where the box score defies, or the final score defies the box score. One of them was Oregon's game, week 1. Was it South Dakota or South Dakota State? They play South Dakota, right?
No, Idaho.
Idaho, the Vandals, yeah.
Both in the state of Idaho.
Yeah, all those up there. And the other one was Arkansas and Oklahoma State this week. We've talked a lot about that. But Dylan Gabriel's line defies the season so far. We're talking, are you worried about Oregon's team, right? Are you worried about their team? Listen to what their quarterback has done, a Heisman Trophy favorite. 59 of 70. 59 of 70. The ball has touched the ground 11 times through 2 games for this guy.
41 and 45 in the first one,
Yeah, 84.3% completion percentage for 623 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. He's averaging 311 yards a game, and they have been fortunate to win both of them. That really makes no sense when you look at his numbers.
I am actually, so the offensive line is a massive concern.
That's what the issue is.
Bucky Irving is a concern.
Yeah,
Bucky Irving's going to end up being a superstar for you guys.
He looks good so far.
I just don't think the defense is good. The defense has been better than advertised the last couple of years, and I thought even this year, I thought the defense would be the key to Oregon's success this year.
Especially with Dan Lanning. a little bit, just a little bit of feel of what you had with USC last year. What did we keep hearing from USC last year is that it was all about the NIL. The people were all concerned about their NIL.
It was more Prada, Louis, Versace. It wasn't about, and after games, and you see this in the NFL. In the NFL, you can go 10-7, you still have a special season. So you lose a game, you still see guys trading jerseys and giving hugs. College football, when you would see losses, I mean, guys were in tears, devastated. Yeah. And you just didn't see that with USC last year because NIL, it did something internally, at least these are the reports. And I don't know if that's – I haven't heard that yet from Oregon, but it wouldn't surprise me.
But they've got a big NIL budget, and they're spending it in recruiting. And right now they don't have that hungry edge that you would expect from a team that's going to compete for a national championship. Maybe it changes when you get rivalry game with Oregon State this weekend where Oregon should outman them.
Well, they're a 16-point favorite, but I'll make the point against Idaho. It was much larger than that. I don't know what it was. What was it Saturday against Boise?
19.5.
19.5.
And I felt incredible about it.
I know you did.
Obviously, 10-star.
Yeah, so two, I mean, huge favorites. They've had to battle to win both those games at home. You're a smaller favorite than that. Now you're on the road. And that stadium's back to full capacity now in Corvallis.
Yeah, still only about 30,000, 40,000, I think. It's a small stadium.
Oh, it's bigger than that. I think it's 60-some-odd thousand.
You think it's 60?
Yeah, Reser Stadium. You think it's only 30,000?
No, I think it's going to come in. I said 30 or 40. I think it comes in around 40,000.
I thought it was 42,000. I thought that was their capacity.
35,548. Wow, how about that?
How about you just jump both feet on my throat? On that
I did, really, and went double their capacity.
Yeah.
But that is full capacity now, right? They're not. No. It's not an active construction zone anymore.
Full capacity, and those people are mad.
Yeah, I mean, they were left behind. And, I mean, you wouldn't think 35,548 is a tough place to play, but it has been a tricky place for Pac-12 opponents historically.
I had and you guys know this guy, good old boy, doctor reached out yesterday about the diverticulitis, and he's like, I got to go to Eugene. He was like, that damn game's not in Eugene, is it? And I was like, I don't think so. I think it's in Corvallis. Because, I mean, can you imagine how congested Eugene, Oregon would be on a game day against Oregon State?
Oh, yeah. It'd be terrible.
Yeah. That's another one of those good games that is happening this weekend on this fabulous college football weekend. 4 Downs brought to you by our friends at Slice Pizza. 5 locations.
Yeah, 5 great locations. Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, newest location in Edgewood. Get into the Bajaya brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. Miss the dude every single day. His brothers continue to celebrate his legacy. Jason and Chris, get into one of those 5 locations for lunch or dinner. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
So more total rushing touchdowns this weekend. God, I can't even read my own writing. I must have done this when I was drugged up yesterday. You guys hold on.
These ought to be really good.
Or you did them when you weren't drugged up yesterday and you're drugged up today.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just start with this. I might have to go backwards. Okay, Ludacris 47 today.
Okay.
We were talking about Dan Lanning.
To the birthdays.
Ultimately better career, Ludacris or Dan Lanning?
I have no idea how to compare these two. But
well, I mean, Ludacris in the early 2000s won some Grammys. When you look at top 40 rap hits, I mean,
it's hot in here.
No,
that was Nelly.
Tyler, you be their crutches during this when I'm trying to figure out this one down.
Ludacris, Tyler, I just don't know how to compare him to Dan Lanning. I mean, Dan Lanning hasn't really won anything. I mean, what has he won? He's won a bunch of games, a handful of games at Oregon. I mean, Ludacris has already had a career.
Yeah, I'm with John in the chat. It's Luda easy because you got music and then you've also got the acting career. Ludacris stars in the Fast and Furious movies. Those
I've never seen one of those.
Absurd amount of money.
Yeah,
there's no doubt I have Ludacris on my rain run. It's been a long time since I've run in the rain, but on my rain run.
So you have a playlist for running in the rain.
Yeah, and it's all 90s rap.
Okay.
Luda, though, I mean, again, the Fast and Furious franchises, I didn't get deep enough to see him actually come into this. I watched like 2 or 3 with Jack, and that was it.
Yeah.
This is a guy that used to produce, I think it was at Star 94, or one of the stations in Atlanta, did his own demo tapes, and blew up overnight.
I didn't know that.
And I had an opportunity to meet him years ago when he was at City Stages. I mean, great rapper. Real name Chris Bridges, was in Traffic, which won Best Picture back in the early 2000s, but he just kind of tapped out of the rap career.
Yeah, I don't use expletives in my Spotify, so I love his song, Move, Girl, Get Out of the Way.
Sounded just like Tyler was playing it there. I am going to go Ludacris. I don't know what Dan Lanning has wanted to get in front of Ludacris.
Yeah, I'll go Ludacris too right now. No.
Second down.
More total rushing touchdowns for Jalen Milroe this weekend against Wisconsin, or I'll give you the total touchdowns for Malik Willis against Indianapolis at home for the Packers.
I don't know.
I mean, Jalen seems to grab 2 on the ground every game.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go Milroe.
I get Milroe rushing or all of Milroe's.
You just get Milroe's rushing against all of Malik Willis.
Yeah, I think I'll go Milroe.
I think the Packers struggle to score points with Malik Willis. They may score 1. I'll roll with Milroe.
What's the estimated return date?
3 to 4 weeks.
It's 2 to 4 weeks on the sprained MCL.
Yeah.
We're hoping it's 4 because that would get us past the Rams.
The Rams, of course.
But I think more so it's going to be 2. I think he will miss the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to see a disaster with Malik Willis.
I'll take Milroe, but we'll see.
Yeah, it wasn't Traffic, it was Crash. Traffic, a much better film than Crash.
Yeah.
But Crash wasn't.
Traffic was a great movie. That's when Michael Douglas's daughter goes astray.
Yeah, she goes rogue, no doubt. Zay Flowers, 24 years old today. If I said ultimately the better career, Zay Flowers, or I'll give you the combination of either one of these guys.
Okay.
Ryan Williams at Alabama or Cam Coleman at Auburn.
Oh, I'm going to go Zay Flowers. He's already in the NFL as a really good receiver in the NFL. Yeah. He should have already had a game-winning touchdown this year. He was wide open in the middle of the end zone, and Lamar Jackson somehow missed him. I'll go Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I'll always take the ball that's already in the fairway.
That's right, yeah.
I'll take Zay Flowers.
In the NFL.
Zay Flowers
in the NFL and playing well. It's not like he's just in the NFL. He's playing well in the NFL.
Though I expect both of those guys to go on and play in the NFL. We'll see their impact.
Oh, I do too, but I've already got one there. I'm taking him.
Fourth down.
What happens first? Auburn or Oklahoma gets to a college football playoff, or Tyreek Hill gets arrested again?
Not arrested, detained.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about again because he's been arrested in the past.
Yes.
Got a citation for
no, but he's been arrested a few times. So I'm just I'm talking about the citation.
Who hasn't? You've been arrested before?
I've been arrested.
I've been arrested.
I've never choked out a pregnant girlfriend.
Me either.
I've never had a pregnant girlfriend.
I hit her mailbox.
Yeah.
Hang on, Jim. What did you get arrested for?
Yeah, he hit
mailboxes. On a Friday night, maybe it was a Thursday night in high school.
Hardened criminal.
Riding through a neighborhood with an aluminum bat.
Yeah, mine was public intox back in 1995.
Yeah,
96.
You can't see me getting arrested.
Joe
I don't see you as the type to go out and smash up people's mailboxes.
Jimmy Rule follower now, but back in the day.
There was a day, Tyler, when I was about your age, that I was a hellion. Yeah. Hey, remind me to tell you the rehab story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
I am, what was the other option? Tyreek or what?
Or Auburn or Oklahoma getting to a college football playoff.
I'm going to go Auburn, Oklahoma playoffs.
Yeah, Auburn, Oklahoma in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm not here to bury the Dolphins.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to bury the Dolphins. I would be willing to do a wager on that. I think Tyreek's just a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
So you think he was the old guy that played for me that quit? You think he's one of those types? Who was with the Buccaneers that he quit in the middle of the game, took his clothes off?
Oh, Antonio Brown.
You think he's
I don't know if he's
Antonio Brown?
I just know. I mean, Antonio was chemically imbalanced. I think we would all agree with that.
Probably.
I think Tyreek's just he's a hothead. How about that?
You going to defend Tyreek?
He doesn't need to. He can fly. He's a great receiver.
Tyreek's the best receiver in the NFL.
I don't think Brown wants to invite him over for Christmas dinner.
I mean, he's done a lot of irresponsible things. Had a bunch of kids with a bunch of different women. Very irresponsible, but I mean, he's a great player.
He can fly.
He can fly.
When we get into these discussions like this, which I don't like to get into, it reminds me that really this is like modern day gladiators. We sit up in the stands and just are entertained.
That's right. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
You know, I thought what was weird about that whole situation Sunday morning before the game was that Drew Rosenhaus, how often do you catch the agent in the front seat of a McLaren driving to the stadium?
Well, and Rosenhaus, I think, lives in Miami, so he's probably going to the game. So he just jumps
But when
around.
you flip it the other way, who picks up their agent? Doesn't an agent normally have their client?
He doesn't have a McLaren.
He was in the car, or was he just calling him on the phone?
No, he was in the car.
He was in the car. He was riding shotgun with him.
I thought he had him on the earpiece. Drew, I'm getting arrested. Drew, I'm getting arrested. Because I thought Kalias called him too.
The best was
I thought Calais called
No.
Drew too.
No. Jonnu Smith was the one you see walk up in the
Calais
video.
Campbell was there.
Yeah, Calais Campbell was there as well. Jonnu Smith, he was telling him to call Dolphins team security because they're right outside the stadium, and I think he thought maybe that could.
Did you see though in the and look, I mean, I wouldn't want somebody knocking on my McLaren window either, but when it's 10 and it's up, what are you supposed to do? But did you see Tyreek's excuse? He was like, I didn't want to bring attention to myself. Like, people would be taking pictures. There's Tyreek Hill.
They did.
But I'm driving a McLaren. I don't want to bring $750,000 car, but I don't want to bring attention to myself.
Yeah, so that's 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, stop at one of those 5 great locations, get a slice and a salad, pick up some pies on the way home, from the hot mama to the soul pie. You're going to love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Hey, and don't forget as you get ready for the games again this weekend. Great games. Home game for Auburn, if you want to go down there and catch that. UAB home game this week?
No, they're at Arkansas.
They're at Arkansas. That's right. There's another good game, 3:15 SEC Network.
That is not a good game. They will get destroyed.
UAB's defense is.
Yeah,
it's hot garbage.
Do you know what Taylor Green is about to do to that defense? Because he's torched everybody he's played.
If you want the Alabama, Auburn, and UAB gear, the Pan Store is the place to go, man. Leeds, the original location, Birmingham, Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, Auburn. It's your game day headquarters. They got the Bama and Auburn polos and the hats and the quarter zips, the Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile. Those name brands there that will help you look your best on game day. And ladies, don't forget, the rompers and the dresses. It's still great weather out there for the rompers and the dresses. And the footwear, too, including the Western boots. And they've got free alteration on anything and free gift wrapping as well. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com. Nothing says Roll Tide and War Eagle like what, Brown?
The Pants Store?
The Pants Store is the correct answer there. Trash coming up momentarily. Aaron Murray earlier, worth a listen to go back to. Really enjoyed that. By the way, LT, you missed it yesterday. Lunceford let me know 60 winners in our Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 Week 1. 67 winners in Week 2.
That's impressive.
It's impressive going 3-0. Lunceford will have that up and ready to play very soon. It is up right now, in fact. Thumbs up from the back row. It is up and ready to play right now at nextroundlive.com. Go get your 3 plays in and try to get a ball in the bucket for the grand prize coming up at the end of the year. A little time here before we get to our next break for your biggest NFL overreaction coming out of Week 1. We've seen Week 1 now as it ended on Monday night. We're about to crank up Week 2 tomorrow night with that great Bills-Dolphins game down in Miami. Your biggest overreaction in Week 1 right now is what? Who wants to go first? Anybody got an overreaction?
I mean, I've got a couple of overreactions. I've got
first.
some that I would agree with.
I don't think Atlanta's as bad as everybody's made Atlanta out to be. I think,
TJ Watt is a disruptor.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Now, you face good guys every week in the NFL.
Not
I know TJ Watt
is
high level, obviously.
He's the best of the best.
But I think Atlanta's offense will be much better than they showed against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can ugly up a game as good as anybody can, and they uglied up that game.
My big takeaway is egos have ruined the Cincinnati Bengals. You've got an organization that traditionally doesn't pay great contracts. You have generational talent there, and whether it's the ego in the front office or the egos of the players or a combination of both, that team is broken. Jamar Chase was limited as he got out there. No deal yet for him. How do you not just automatically lock him up? You're cashing checks as an NFL owner. How do you not lock Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow up forever? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think I might go the other side. I mean, for Cincinnati to only score, and they should lock Jamar Chase up. Look, Joe Mixon had a really good game this past weekend, and they should have kept that guy. Maybe the overreaction is Cincinnati scoring 10 points, losing to New England. I didn't think there was any chance that would happen. I think there's
so much so
there's a lot more things that I don't think are overreactions that I actually believe are true.
Okay, give me the example.
The example, I think Sam Darnold is going to have kind of a revival in his career. Now, do I think they're going to win 10 or 11 games and go to the postseason? Probably not. But I think a Kevin O'Connell system with those
good weapons around him,
yeah, I think he can play extremely well. I think Bryce Young and Carolina are going to be awful again. I think just after 1 week, I don't think it's an overreaction. I think that is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm concerned on if Bryce...
Is this about to be David Carr all over again, you think?
He may be in
He's in as bad a situation as David Carr was in.
Yeah, but he may be in a situation like Mac was, where
Mac Jones?
Yeah, well, he gets shipped off somewhere or sits as a QB2 and then maybe gets a chance somewhere down the road. But
I think I told you guys before the season, I thought there was only 3 teams there was no chance of making the postseason. And I included Carolina, New England, although their 1-0 was one of those other teams. And the Giants would have been that third team. But now I look at it, I think the Titans have got to be in the conversation. For the Titans to lose the way they lost.
Was it 148 offensive yards Chicago had, I think?
Yeah, pick 6, return kick.
Not a single offensive touchdown and lost 24-7. How do you do that?
Oh, and you've got Will Levis at quarterback.
Yeah. We said it going into the season. It's the worst quarterback situation in the league. As you've watched week 1, you think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback right now than Will Levis, right? You take Sam Darnold over Will Levis?
Oh, yeah.
Would you take either old Russell Wilson that can't even play right now or Justin Fields? Yep. You wouldn't take Malik Willis. I don't think
I would take Malik Willis. I don't think I would take Jacoby Brissett.
Okay. I don't know. Jacoby Brissett's played a lot of football in the NFL. And
I'll tell you this.
Hangs around for a reason.
When Anthony Richardson learns to throw the deep ball more accurately, Indianapolis is going to be dangerous.
I think it's true. I think the Texans are good again. I don't think they have a sophomore slump with CJ.
No, the
Texans
are good again. I think if a couple of things go the other way, look, and the game was only a 3-point number, and they were on the road. And again, I thought the Colts before the season, I said they would win the AFC South, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think the Texans are good.
Yeah, I think so too. NFL action cranks back up tomorrow night. Part of our Bud Light game night. As we roll to Vestavia on Highway 31, Hillside is where we are. Bud Light game night tomorrow night, 5 to 7. If you're in the area, want a post-work drink or an early dinner, swing by 5 to 7 with Hillside right there across from the Vestavia City Center. All right, Odie's, do we have a calendar check right here?
It is. I think it's the night. Now, we do have a game-time decision, though, tonight.
Yeah, there is a chance that Brown will be out there with
Could be.
Rocky.
I'm ready to go.
And Will Haver.
I'm always loose.
I've already reported my injury. I am questionable.
You're not questionable.
I am questionable for the
you can
8
pretend,
o'clock kick.
You can do what the 49ers did and pretend to cheat on this injury report. You've already told Brown you're out. I can feel it.
I actually lean at not playing.
Okay. I'm look, always ready, man.
But it doesn't matter. It's going to be outstanding, whether it's me or Brown. Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. The original location in Crestline. Get out there early. Enjoy great food from Rodney Davis. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches and salads, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Not only the location tonight, Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night at the Crestline location. Newest location in Edgewood. Stop in, see Will Haver and that incredible staff. It's Odie Stavert.
Bobby says Jim is absolutely overreacting to the Bengals. They're 1-8 in weeks 1 and 2 since Burrow moved them. Since
A little
Burrow
context: you did draft Jamar Chase
That's
number
right.
1 overall, so you're kind of pissed off about that.
I'm a little pissed off about that. Yeah. But I'm going to hold on to him. I think he'll come around.
Well, I would hold on to him too. I mean, I'll trade for him if you want.
Well, offer me a trade. I'll take it. I'm 1-0. Did you win first week?
I did not. I don't know how to check my. This is gonna be shocking. In one of these breaks, I was going to take it back there to Lunceford because the only device I've got that I can access is
that
this.
one right there?
Yeah. Fantastic. Show also being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Love those guys. Yeah, I had a chance. It's my Saturday morning tradition when I don't go to the game, so I'm going to go back again this Saturday. One week I did steaks and had to make me a sandwich for lunch. This past week I went and got the Bama brats. Had a couple people reach out, DM me, and say, what was the name of the brats you got? Where'd you get them? New York Butcher Shop. The brats are fantastic. Swing by there. 2 great locations. The steaks are there. They tell me they don't cook the chicken wings until noon. I explained to them the kick time starting at 11, and I'm going to be there every day at 10. Could we get the chicken wings going a little bit sooner? Because I want to get a whole bunch of their wings to take home.
You let me know, and I can get Jim to crack up some of that early on for you.
Well, it's Saturday morning. We're going to do it.
Fresh meat, specialty items, deli sandwiches, smoked meats, prepared food, catering, great wines, desserts. It's all a one-stop shop. Rear quality, well-done service. 2 locations, Cava Heights, Highway 119, the New York Butcher Shop.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Back with you on the Next Round. Trash just around the corner. So, too, is good food. I mean, Tyler, how quickly have you gone to Milo's lately? And let's just say the last 7 business days. How many times have you gone to Milo's, Tyler?
Oh, it's got to be 3 or 4 at least.
Wow.
Yeah,
more than half.
It's not just for you, it's for the Meltdown guys too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Me and Jon Lunceford have been crushing Milo's lately.
Okay, and John goes with not the original Milo's. They've got the thicker patty now.
Oh yeah. They've had
thick
that
burger.
Yeah, that's good. Do you get them to hold the ketchup and use Milo sauce on it, Lance?
I'm a plain burger guy. If the burger's good, it doesn't really need anything else.
That's the way I roll. I tell them whole ketchup, add Milo sauce.
one of the things I try to do is if you've got it perfected the Milo's way, just let it go. Order exactly as is.
Yeah, I go with the double cheeseburger, and I get asked, "You want the onions?" I came to Milo's for the onions. Yes.
I've started to do my smash burgers like Milo's-esque with the onions.
Yeah. Tell us about Milo's, my friend.
Hey, September is the month for hunger awareness. Did you realize that 1 in 5 people just in Central Alabama experience food insecurity? Our friends at Milo's Hamburgers, they've joined the fight against hunger. They are inviting us to do the same. All Milo's restaurants will serve as drop locations for food supplies for the food bank of Central Alabama from September 4th to September 20th. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, you get a free regular drink. Together, we can make a difference. Stop in to one of those convenient locations of Milo's.
What a great cause. Missouri, by the way, I got asked by Tony in the chat room, is number 6, the highest Missouri's been ranked in recent years. 2013, they were number 5. Number 5 in the country after losing to Auburn in the SEC championship game. They were number 5 in the country is where the last time they were this high. So I think one year in the 1970s as part of the Big 8, at one point in the national rankings, it may have been the final rankings. It was Nebraska 1, Oklahoma 2, Missouri 3.
Well, that 2013 Missouri team was legitimate. I know it got away from them in the fourth quarter of that SEC championship game. But let's not forget, if they would have won that game, they would have played Florida State for the national championship.
Bryan Vincent in just a second. Right now, though, it's time for trash. Tyler, if you will, you know what to do.
Now, if that's too much, 12 different appetizers to choose from. I'm a fried dickle pickle man. I'm a fried dill pickle man.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, it is buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information. Go to their website, mortgageright.com. Call their Birmingham office, Highway 280, 205 900 7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. Civil and possible criminal charges are being considered after the death of an Alabama man who died when a surgeon at the Ascension Sacred Heart Emerald Coast Hospital mistakenly removed the patient's liver instead of his spleen.
That is a big mistake.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I, on site, probably could not tell the difference in a liver and a spleen. I don't know if you guys could.
I bet if you Google it, you could.
Hold on. On site.
I'm going to show you a picture.
You just pull one up, and I'll tell you if it's the liver or the
spleen. Now, this calls, quote, immediate and catastrophic. What am I looking for?
Catastrophic?
Catastrophic blood loss resulting in death. Sadly, Bill Bryan, 70 years old, and his wife Beverly from Muscle Shoals visiting their condo in Destin.
Oh, no.
He started experiencing pain in his left side, was admitted. That's when they thought there was medical problems with the spleen. They decided to go in, and they removed their own.
No.
Yeah. Hold on. Trying to get
Dave is saying, I bet a medical doctor could. Well, that was kind of my point. I think a doctor should be able to. Now, I could not on site. All right, so this is one or the other? That's a liver. Very easy. Very easy. That's the liver.
Spleen.
No, it's the liver. That's not the spleen. It's the liver.
It is the liver.
You've got a drawing, though. Like, if find, like...
That's what I was like, show me a liver inside a body and nothing pops up.
Like, I need somebody's body splayed open and there's a liver and a spleen in there, and I can try to tell you which one's which.
I tried. They did give me a picture. It was all cartoon drawings. I wanted to see it. I guess I'd have to go to the dark web to see a liver inside a body.
Pull it up, Tyler, on the dark web.
Hey,
probably on the dark web, it'd still be a living.
Can you imagine? Have you guys ever wanted to go on an Alaskan cruise?
Actually, I have. I've seen video I don't really want to go on a cruise, period. But if I did them, I wouldn't mind an Alaskan cruise. That was a big ball.
Would that have taken the camera out?
Yes.
Alaska Adventure would be fun, yes.
Yeah, so I want to go on one of the European river cruises, but I wouldn't mind going on the Alaskan cruise.
I think I'd rather do European river cruise first.
So anyway, a Carnival cruise ship was undamaged after grazing a piece of ice in Alaska's Tracy Arm Ford
I've seen this movie.
Now, with one passenger dramatically comparing it to a modern, quote, Titanic moment. Now, the whole of the Carnival Spirit was assessed. No damages were found after the incident on Thursday. Now, the ship was able to continue on its 7-day journey without a hitch. It's expected to dock in Seattle on Actually, yesterday, passengers and other users on social media veered far into dramatics over the incident anyway. Passenger Cassandra Goski said in a video, quote, "If we die, it was damn well worth it."
I would disagree with that. Dunaway.
Just let me on the door, Brown. Just let me on the door.
Two choices here.
Ryan, you go on.
You
go on. You live a great life. Never forget me, Ryan. Never forget me, Ryan. I'm cramping.
Dunaway, you got two choices here. You find out the boat's hit an iceberg. Do you tell Maggie, let's go below deck and see if there's a car we could break into and make love one last time? Or do you say, Maggie, just get in the bed with me and lay here while we sink?
She is getting on those one of those lifeboats.
Yeah. She's that guy with the gun shooting people, right?
Well, she was Rose. She was running around with Jack on the boat. She wasn't hanging out with Dunaway anyway.
I'm getting a lot of people talking to me nowadays about how you paint my marriage.
Yeah. Well, that one might have gone over.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's all joking. We just joke for
That's right. Icebergs everywhere.
It is joking. Now, I haven't seen Maggie in 3 years, but who's counting?
Does she even exist? Lunceford has been on the Alaska cruise. Lunceford, was it a good time?
It was a very good time. We did a 2-week thing where you fly into Anchorage and then you drive via train and bus all the way up to the top, and then you work your way on the cruise around.
Oh, now when you said is this during your married days?
No, it was my senior trip. Me and my parents went on.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Senior trip.
That is fun.
Yeah, I don't think travel agents are still the deal they used to be. But if Lunceford could be one, he's been everywhere.
Yeah. I've got a friend here locally that
is a travel agent.
Yeah, she books experiences. She does the whole thing for you.
Okay.
Don't you think you could Google that now, though?
I've heard, though, if you're traveling internationally, having a travel agent is almost a must because if something goes wrong, they've got a better shot of getting it fixed internationally than you do.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Her name's Lisa. I've known her forever.
Lisa Black?
Nope.
Lisa the travel agent?
Lisa, my former neighbor. And she's got great deals, but also she has friendships. She travels to all these places before you do.
Oh, yeah.
And so
that's a good business write-off is what that is for her.
And she's gone all the time, but she can call, if something's not going right at your hotel, she can call and say, hey, Lance is there. And she needs
that makes sense. Okay.
The travel
I will pull it back then. I just remember it used to be a big deal when you had brick and mortars like Four Seasons Travel or All Seasons Travel.
Or the Jennings family, DuPont Circle Travel and the Americans.
Okay, here are the most rewatchable movies according to Ranker.com. By the way, the last episode I saw was with our girl from Ozark.
Yeah, oh yeah, she plays a prominent role.
Yeah, and he's trying to bed down. That's very uncomfortable. Okay, here are the most rewatchable movies according to Ranker.com. I disagree with a lot of these. Number 10 on the list, Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't even get through it the first time.
I didn't like the first one. Love the ride at Epcot, though.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Most people do.
This is where the Brat guy, right?
Yeah.
Or
that's pain that you said that. Yeah. Guardians is incredible.
Now, I don't like the movie Lunceford, but the ride at Epcot
the ride is also
the
incredible.
best ride I've ever been on anywhere.
This is where that little tree thing, the little piece of wood thing, right?
That's it.
Yeah, the little tree thing's good.
Love this.
All right.
It says, I am little tree thing.
Number 9, I was impressed. I thought it was better than I thought it would be.
The
Men
first
in
one
Black.
is good, yeah.
But I have zero desire to ever see it again.
I'm with you. I did not expect it to be what it was, and it was good the first time, but I don't really want to rewatch it.
Both of those were rewatchable.
Okay.
Number 8, I loved it as a kid, but it does not hold up. It is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I've rewatched that.
I mean, when I was 8, 9 years old, I thought it was incredible, but it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Number 7, Home Alone. I like Home Alone during the holidays.
Yeah, I've never gone back and watched that.
Yeah, I will watch Home Alone during the holidays. Number 6, Shrek. Shrek's fantastic.
Yep.
If Shrek's on, I will stay with it for a little bit.
Always a great soundtrack.
Number 5
Little Behind on Pictures.
Yeah, there it is.
Shrek.
There it is.
We're
Very
number
well
5.
done right there. Number 5, another animated film, and Toy Story. I thought it was good, but I have zero desire to watch it again.
You like Toy Story, Tyler? Fantastic.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
It probably came out when you were a kid, right?
These are not the most rewatchable movies. I mean, for kids,
Toy Story came out 95.
Yeah.
Now, this next one is Jurassic Park, number 4.
Never seen it.
So well done.
Yeah, I've never seen Jurassic Park.
And it holds up.
Why?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I've just never seen it. I'll go watch it.
It's fantastic.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Number 3, it didn't hold up as well as I thought it would. It was great when I saw it as a kid, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, I love Raiders of the Lost Ark.
When's the last time you watched it?
Temple of Doom.
When's the last time you watched Raiders of the Lost Ark?
You not sat down and watched the whole thing. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But
Church lock-in for me.
So
really?
5 years ago, I watched it again with Jack, and I was like, damn, this wasn't nearly as good as when I was a kid, because I watched it all the time then. Number 2, Shawshank. Obviously, that's one of those you can watch all the time.
Yeah.
And then number 1, I think it is very rewatchable. I love it. Back to the Future.
Yeah. I love Back to the Future.
I thought 8 Men Out would be in there, but
no.
All right, that's Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. So whether you're looking for your final home, your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call 205-900-7200.
All right, we appreciate Lance giving us trash, and it's time now to go down to Monroe, Louisiana. The head football coach of the ULM Warhawks is with us now. You remember him from our show when he was the head coach of the UAB Blazers. Coach Bryan Vincent back on the show again. Welcome back, Coach. Good to see you again. How you been?
Doing great, guys. I appreciate you having me back. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. It has. That's our fault. That's our fault.
Jim, hey, good to see you guys.
Hey, congratulations. I mean, look, a win's a win, but there's got to be something special about this win.
Obviously, there is. It made it a little bit sweeter being UAB because, you imagine coming in here December the 7th, and they're on a 10-game losing streak. Been to one bowl game ever. Hadn't had a winning season in over 20 years. So it's been there was a lot of work and progress to even get to that point. And, the Jackson State was a fight, man. They're going to win a lot of games this year. Jackson State's got a good team. And boom, from game 1 to game 2, even from the first scrimmage to the second to the game 1 to that UAB game, it was just a sweet night. You're a 13-point underdog. You've got one of the better group of 5 programs in the country the last 6-7 years, and with a talented roster. You've got Jacob Zeno, and Jacob's a great quarterback, man. He's going to play in the NFL. I think he's got a bright future. There's some really good players. I thought defensively they've recruited well. They've got a lot better players. I thought they played better. But to come out and truly dominate all 3 phases, it wasn't, oh, man, we pulled it out in the end. But I really believed and know after watching it, we were dominant on defense. We were dominant in the kicking game. And offensively, I felt like, we kicked too many field goals in the red zone. We should have had some more touchdowns. We didn't turn it over, and we had 3 takeaways, and that's been our recipe really for years. And to do it at that night in Monroe, a town that's starving and hungry for a change and hungry for success, and that was the biggest crowd I think we've had in 5 years, in 5 seasons, and it was a big step for where we're going, for where we're taking this program, and just made it a little bit sweeter, being the Blazers, which I do have a lot of love and a lot of respect for.
That's what I was going to say. Behind you, there's a lot of UAB memories behind you there, so I know you respect that. Pre-game, post-game, were there people that you still know with the program, players and staff people coming up to you afterwards?
No doubt. You go to the state troopers, just go, because I'm a relationship guy. It's about people. And Reggie and Donald, they were with us the whole time, all those road games. We won both championships on the road. The memories, the relationships, a lot of the players that were still, whether it's Bryce Damus or a Colby Dempsey, or a BB or a Brady Wilson, all those guys that we won big games together. We made history together. That's real, and that's love. And, in Birmingham, man, I love Birmingham. I love everything we built there, with the relationships with the former players, the alumni, the city, because it took all of us to do what we did, and Bill Clark, just being that ambassador, and he kind of put the city on his back. Those were moments that were special, that made history, and there's a lot of love and there's a lot of passion there. So, it was a great moment for who we are, where we're at, what we're building, and where we're going at ULM.
ULM head coach Bryan Vincent with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Once it ended at UAB, you go out to New Mexico as an offensive coordinator. What was your level of confidence you would get another shot as a head coach? Doesn't happen for everybody. You know that. You've been in this business a really long time. What was your level of confidence you'd get to do this again?
It was crazy. Everything happened so fast. and we just won the Bahama Bowl. We flew back to Birmingham. We drove down to Orange Beach. I've got a place in Orange Beach right there in Bear Point. And I was just going to breathe. You know what I mean? I was proud of our players and our coaches. I mean, we had to beat North Texas on senior night that was playing in the conference championship game. We had to go to La Tech and beat them to qualify. And then the Bahama Bowl is a quick turnaround. And with all the madness and the chaos, and we find out right during practice that Coach Dilfers was hired. So I've got to keep this team together. And I've got to keep them for history, for the former players, for all the people that fought to bring that program back. We had a responsibility, and it was personal. And to go down there, a good Miami, Ohio team, and to beat them. And we come back, Orange Beach, and Danny Gonzalez calls me, and he goes, Coach, he goes, I need you. He goes, I need you. He goes, we've had the worst offense in the country 2 years in a row. And he said, would you fly out here tomorrow? And I was like, no, Coach. I said, I just got here, man. I don't have. So I got my GAs to bring all my stuff down. We flew out there. But I'm just telling you, man, I've been through, you're either a fighter or you're not. And I really felt in my heart, and I felt God had a plan that my career wasn't going to end. And I believe that my career was not going to end that way. And let's go take the worst offense in the country 2 years in a row statistically, and let's go make a change. And we were able to be the biggest turnaround in college football, in New Mexico. And it was God's plan. It was crazy. I knew of John Hartwell, our athletic director. He was the AD at Troy, in 14, with Larry Blakeney. And we beat him in 14, Bill, Coach Clark's first year. And then, just the relationship. He had a relationship with Eddie Nunez, our AD at New Mexico, who just went to Houston, and one thing led to another, and we got in a room together, and he called me actually about 7 hours that later and said, I'm done. I'm not hiring anybody else. I got the guy I want. He said, I'm offering you this job, but we got to go see the president, and he's got to approve it. I said, pick me up in the morning. Let's roll.
Hey, he might not be an All-American ever based on play on the field, but he's got the All-American name for a quarterback in General Booty. That's your guy. He's a scrappy player. I know you don't keep up with endorsement deals, but it seems like this guy could just name his endorsements, right?
What's crazy is we were at practice today, and it was raining here today because we're getting a little push from the hurricane that's coming in. And we had a great practice, rain, shine. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. We roll right through it. And I'm seeing all these players with these new shorts on, these new kind of underwear deal, and they're ULM and they're Warhawks and they're flashy. And I'm like, I had a couple defensive players. And I was like, hey man, I said, where'd you get that? And he said, General hooked me up, Coach. It's one of his deals. And I look around and almost seems like the whole team has them.
That's awesome.
General, hook me up. I love it.
Are they called booty shorts?
Oh, no.
Yeah, they actually are called.
Oh, no.
Fantastic.
Well named.
Hey, I love the gear that you got on, man. You're the sheriff. I like that star.
We've rebranded just who we want to be. We went to the star for the P-40 bombers.
Yeah.
That fought in the war. They fought in Pearl Harbor. They killed, downed over 290 planes. And they were from here in Monroe, and they were only lost 2. So they weren't real fast, but they were tough and they were precision. So we've kind of rebranded ourselves right here to the star and the plane. The star and the plane, and then the shark teeth that you saw, and that's the P-40 bomber. And that's the shark teeth that you saw on our helmet Saturday night. So, there's a lot of history here at ULM, and there's a lot of passion. And we're just trying to get it all back now. That's our fight. We're getting it all back, and you're starting to see it happen. You're starting to see the people, the energy and the culture is changing right here in front of our eyes.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the 2-0 start. I know you guys have got a bye this week. You get really a bye September 21st when you go to Austin to take on Texas, right? I mean, watching Texas on film, I thought I wanted to see Sarkisian do it in back-to-back years. I think this Texas team, with all the transfer skill they've got coming in, might be better than the Texas team of last year.
There's no doubt. It brought me back to, I think it was 20. Coach Kirby Smart's first year in Georgia, and we were at UAB. and we turned on that Georgia film. They had 9 guys drafted off that defense, and that's when, Tyler Johnson got caught for a -1 yard loss by the big nose guard. That was a first-round draft pick. When I watched Texas, this weekend, I went, they look like Georgia of 20. And let me tell you, they're legit. They're ready. It might have been 21, but I remember going over there, and they were unbelievable. And that was their first run, I think their first championship. But Texas looks like a legit national championship contender. You don't go to Ann Arbor and Michigan and do what they did unless they are a legit championship contender.
It has been long since established people in the media like us are idiots, but there were members of the media that ranked this as the worst team in college football this year in the FBS, ULM, and somebody forgot to tell Bryan Vincent because they're 2-0 right now. So congrats on that start, Coach. We love to see you again, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Ryan. Hey, Lance, Jim, hey, it's great seeing you guys. Go Warhawks.
Yep. Yeah, take care, Coach.
Great seeing you,
Congrats.
Coach. Congratulations. Keep killing it, man.
Thank you.
Good dude right there.
Thanks, guys.
Good dude. Glad to see him having success.
Yeah,
it came at UAB's expense, but I'm glad to see him having success.
Yeah, but that's one of those things that you think if things break right here, there, for the Warhawks, they might be able to win this game. He said they dominated all 3 phases.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even close.
So the question, I didn't want to put him in a spot, because I'm trying to be a nice guy with this sometimes, but the question becomes, if it doesn't work out for Trent Dilfer, can you go back?
Can he go back, or would UAB go back?
I mean, UAB is a much better job than Louisiana Monroe.
Would UAB be willing to go back and hire the guy that they could have just promoted? Because some people don't swallow their ego enough to do that.
Yeah, you don't. And again, and I'm Mark Ingram is a friend of ours, UAB athletic director. But if it doesn't work out with Dilfer, frequently that goes back to the AD as well. So I don't.
Mark also hired Andy Kennedy. So
he did. No, I know. But you know how most of the time
that
your AD,
would be tricky.
Most of the time your AD is tied to your head coach, and so I don't know. I mean, you would like to think if he's the best guy for the job, you hire him no matter what.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
It'll. Hopefully Trent can get it worked out, but if not, it'll be interesting to see what would be next down the road for UAB.
I know you got to do something. I would also say if I'm Bryan Vincent, I've got a lot of loyalty to a team that gave me another shot too.
Yeah. At ULM?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy.
Boy, that is a tough job and a tough conference.
It is.
But when you're recruiting in Louisiana, not LSU can't get them all.
They can't.
Well, you can't get hotel rooms there. We went to Monroe, Louisiana on a Thursday night. I couldn't get a room.
Yeah, Monroe's always rocking. We should have called Bryan Vincent.
I didn't even think about it.
Can we stay at your house, man? They sleep downstairs. All right, our friends at Talladega, Yellowwood 500 coming up. We'll tell you again all the stuff going on as we get ready for October 4th through October 6th. That weekend, it'll be here before you know it. Go ahead and get your tickets. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Got a freaking rodeo inside the track happening on Friday night. Why would you not want to be part of that? It's Buckandega. That's a bucking good time right there. not an official
Is that
promo.
not in the copy?
Not an official promo. Jake Owen concert on Saturday night and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Go by there and pick up your tickets. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DAGA.
Kalen DeBoer on the SEC teleconference gave a pretty positive update on
Caden Proctor.
Caden Proctor did not out and out say that he would play, but if you read between the lines, it sounds like he's progressed well enough that he could be on the field Saturday.
Trending in a good direction. That injury report update and this hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Open for lunch for an hour now. Go by there and get that great chicken with Sterling and the crew there, champy'schicken.com. Thank you to Aaron Murray. Thank you to Bryan Vincent. And again, as we started the show, never forget 23 years ago today, the terrorist attacks on our country at several locations. Unforgettable tragedy there and the pain of our country, but also remember the resilience and the unity that came out of that. So we leave you today with the same words we tell you every day that started back in that time. God bless you and God bless America. We'll see you soon.